Chapter 1829. Thank you for considering things from my perspective. But in fact, when Qilin Wing fell, there was no corpse left at the scene. It is also a kind of opportunity for you to be able to obtain a part of it. It is also a kind of gratification for me to have his traces in this world. It is not a disgrace to him to fight side by side with you, so take this spear. It belongs to you. Qilin Evil Slaying Spear gently touched it again and then pushed it back to Night Sorrow. Then Night Sorrow thanks Senior. Night Sorrow put away the Blood Kirin Evil Punishing Spear and put it back into the holster on his back. You said it's called the Blood Kirin Evil Slaying Spear. Very good. The Blood Kirin clan does not participate in the competition between the clans, but we never fall behind anyone when it comes to slaying evil. I look forward to seeing its brilliance in the future, Qi Rui said. After some time, the Heavenly Baron City will hold a competition for the number 1 Vanguard and the number 1 Commander of the 100 Races Alliance. Clan leader Qi Rui, you can attend the competition, the Grand Elder invited. Sure. You're still lacking a bit this time. I'll cheer for you next time, Qi Rui said to Night Sorrow after accepting the invitation. Senior, I want to participate this time as well, Night Sorrow said. Good. This is courage. Let me give you some encouragement. Qi Rui was stunned for a moment before he said, Thank you. When does Senior need Night Sorrow's help? Night Sorrow asked. I'm going to stay in the Heavenly Desolation City for 2 more days. Your Grand Elder is my old friend. I'm here to ask for a favor, but I'm not an unscrupulous person. I'll have a few drinks with your Grand Elder, Qi Rui said. See Weg's hair K. All right, Grand Elder, when the Patriarch is about to leave, just inform Night Sorrow, Night Sorrow said. After that, Night Sorrow, Lin Piaomiao, and the others left the Grand Elder's pocket dimension. I didn't think that there would be such a thing. Night Sorrow, are you going to the Blood Kirin clan? The Blood Kirin Mountain is a forbidden area. No matter what race you are not allowed to enter. You have been invited. This is an honor, Pu Luo said, looking at Night Sorrow. There are some things that I don't quite understand. The Bloodscale race did not participate in the contest of races, so why would the Black Dragons attack them? How did the 3rd son of clan leader Qi Rui fall in the hands of the Demon-Winged clan? Night Sorrow asked Lin Piaomiao and the others. As the saying goes, wherever there are people, there will be fights. Actually, that's not true. As long as there are lives, there will be fights. I don't know about the 3rd son of the Blood Kirin clan, but I know about the Black Dragons attacking the Blood Kirin Mountain. That time, the Black Dragons suffered a loss, but I didn't expect the Blood Kirin clan leader's wife to be injured, said Lin Piaomiao. Why do the Black Dragons bite whoever they catch? Night Sorrow was confused. Who knows? It's been like this for a long time, Pu Luo snorted coldly. Night Sorrow and the others returned to his courtyard, and a small table of wine was served. What's going on? Did they make things difficult for our Alliance Master? Asked Yuzhu. At first, I thought the Bloodscale race was here to punish us. I didn't expect them to ask for our Alliance Master's help. There's no problem at all. However, this doesn't feel good. With strength, why should we be afraid of anyone? Said the great Demon King. In this world, there were very few cultivators who could pass the Emperor's tribulation. However, the clan leaders and pillars of the various divine beast races were all at this level. If such existences wanted to target anyone, it would be an unsolvable nightmare. The great Demon King also decided to wait until his main body stopped cultivating before continuing to break through the Emperor's tribulation. If he didn't pass the Emperor's tribulation, he wouldn't have the confidence to be lawless. After drinking 2 cups of wine, Night Sorrow stood up and took out his Bloodscale Evil Slaying Spear. I didn't expect you to fall at the hands of the Demon Wings clan. I'll avenge you in the future. After saying that, Night Sorrow started to display his spear art. He was furious when he heard that Qilin Yi had self-destructed in order to prevent his body from falling into the hands of the Demon Wing tribe. Hence, Night Sorrow suppressed his anger and displayed his spear art at full force. As Night Sorrow displayed his spear skills, the Bloodscale Evil Slaying Spear shone with a golden light. It was the light of virtue's domain. With anger in his heart, Night Sorrow's towering heaven spear intent became even more obvious. Every spear strike was as if it wanted to pierce through the sky. Every spear strike was as if it wanted to conquer the world. The tip of the blood-scale evil-slaying spear shone with a golden light after being stimulated by the light of virtue. At this moment, in front of a window in the tower, the Grand Elder and Qi Rui were chatting while looking at the buildings in Tianhuang City. Naturally, they noticed this scene. The towering heaven spear art is so advanced? This is the true inheritance of King Youwu's spear art. The Grand Elder was a little shocked when he saw the golden light and black spatial rifts lingering above Night Sorrow's small courtyard. He really didn't know that Night Sorrow's spear art had reached such a level. Isn't the primordial chaos spear art also at such an advanced level? Every spear has the power of a domain. You guys have put in a lot of effort for this seedling. Qi Rui naturally understood the Grand Elder's spear art. We were worried. This guy can cause trouble, but we didn't put in much effort. I just threw the spear manual to him. I guess King Youwu did the same. Our spear art is something that can only be understood and not taught. It's also his ability to cultivate it to such an advanced level, said the Grand Elder. He's very young. In the future, he will be a pillar of the human race. No wonder he dares to participate in the competition for the first vanguard of the 100-Race Alliance with the cultivation of a primary-level Imperial Lord. He has the confidence. With a spear in hand, he dares to fight the world. Even if he's not a match, no one can take his edge off. It's a good thing that the Qilin Wing Bone can accompany him, said Patriarch Qi Rui. A few years ago, when he was still a 2-star emperor, he fought with 5 Imperial Lords of the Demon Wing clan on the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. I've seen many battles, but it's the first time I've seen such a tragic and soul-stirring battle. 5 Imperial Lords and an avatar were all killed by him. He dragged his broken leg and walked back step by step, leaving bloody footprints. After the Grand Elder finished speaking, he threw a crystal ball to Qi Rui. The crystal ball recorded the scene of Night Sorrow's battle. The crystal ball that recorded this battle scene had been replicated many times and circulated among the human race. It was a classic battle, an inspirational battle. After Qi Rui activated the crystal ball, he looked at it carefully and looked at the Grand Elder. You guys just watched? It's the City Lord's death order. He has to kill his way back. I and the other human race elders can only stand on the city wall and watch him fight. Our hearts are aching. The Grand Elder nodded. If anything happens, you'll regret it. However, this is indeed domineering. Impressive. Qi Rui didn't return the crystal ball and directly threw it into his storage ring. You dripped a drop of blood essence into the blood Qilin evil vanquishing spear. It shouldn't be simple, right? The Grand Elder smiled. There were many crystal balls, but only one original was very precious. However, he didn't care. First, I have to confirm if that's my son's skeleton. If it's not, that drop of blood won't be integrated into it and I'll take it back. If it is, I'll absorb it. If my son still has soul fragments in the world, they'll gather towards that skeleton, said Qi Rui. Your blood Qilin clan has the power of merit protecting you. You'll be blessed by the heavenly Tao, said the Grand Elder. Chapter 1830. Didn't you say you were going to stay for 2 days? The Grand Elder said with a smile. At first, I thought there was hope. But now, I realize that Night Sorrow's power of merit is quite different from what I expected. So there's a high chance, Qi Rui said. That's fine too. This is a big matter for the Blood Qilin clan. Rest for a night and go back tomorrow. Otherwise, you said that you would stay for 2 days. If you change your mind and leave now, you will lose face in front of the juniors, said the Great Elder. Qi Rui nodded. He knew that the Grand Elder was thinking for him. Night Sorrow displayed his spear skills and vented his emotions. Then he returned to the hall of the courtyard. Your spear skills are getting more and more overbearing. Pu Luo poured a glass of wine for Night Sorrow. I'm sorry to disturb everyone. I just had some thoughts, Night Sorrow said. I can understand. After hearing it, I also felt uncomfortable. Qi Rui, I don't know how strong he is. In order to not fall into the enemy's hands, he self-destructed. I respect him as a man, the great Demon King said. If there's nothing big, let's go back to Shindu City. It's not good to have no one guarding there. We've offended too many people. If they find out that we're not there, they'll attack our territory. That'll be troublesome, Pu Luo said after thinking for a while. In the end, everyone decided that Lin Piaomiao would stay and see if Qi Rui agreed to go with them. If he agreed, Lin Piaomiao would accompany Night Sorrow. If he didn't agree, there was nothing they could do. As for the danger, they weren't worried. Blood Kirins were auspicious and virtuous beasts. They wouldn't do anything immoral. If they used dirty tricks, it would anger King Yawu. So, some things wouldn't happen. After sending off the great demon king and the others, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the courtyard. Night Sorrow wiped the Blood Kirin evil-slaying spear. He knew the history of the Blood Kirin tailbone, so he respected it. Blood Kirins are the most special and rare among the divine beasts. Every member is worthy of respect, Lin Piaomiao said. Sister Xian, I understand what you're saying. He'll fight with me in the future, Night Sorrow said. 1 Yong Jiu 4, Mian, small O says and V, you can call me Piaomiao. Why haven't you changed it? Lin Piaomiao asked. There's no need. After I married the 2 senior sisters, I've always called them senior sisters. They've taken care of me, and other than the feelings between husband and wife, I've always respected them in my heart. Sister Xian is the same. Isn't that the same? Night Sorrow said. He had never thought of changing the way he addressed Xian. Lin Piaomiao smiled and didn't say anything else. She felt that the Yi family was very harmonious and the relationships between the women were very good. It had something to do with her own heart and also something to do with Night Sorrow's attitude. At that moment, Night Sorrow's aura changed. His robes were filled with energy vortexes, and his aura began to rise. He only stopped when he reached the middle stage of the 5-star Emperor realm. Night Sorrow's main body's epiphany ended. The moment their souls connected, the doppelganger also gained enlightenment. Next, its realm and level reached the same level as the main body. The space-time heaven and earth grand momentum increased to 55%. Middle stage 5-star Emperor. His understanding of the void of heaven and earth had reached 48%. He had reached the late stage of the 4-star Emperor realm. His destruction attribute had reached 46%. He had reached the middle stage of the 4-star Emperor realm. The epiphany this time allowed all the attributes that Night Sorrow grasped to reach the Imperial Lord level. After circulating the energy in his body and sensing it, Night Sorrow realized that his power of virtue had become much thicker. Night Sorrow, congratulations. Lin Piaomiao's face was filled with joy because Night Sorrow had made a huge leap again. Not bad. However, it'll be difficult to cultivate at such a high speed in the future. It's because my comprehension speed has decreased that my main body exited from the epiphany. Night Sorrow said, That's enough. Take it slow. With time, you won't have any problems reaching the Emperor realm. Lin Piaomiao smiled. Then the two of them chatted. Night Sorrow comprehended his own situation. Night Sorrow felt that he was very lucky. As his realm increased, his energy also kept up. The main reason was that Yao Mountain was the head of the human race's dragon of providence. When the energy erupted, it would cause all sorts of phenomena to appear. Opportunities, rare opportunities. They were all opportunities that could only be encountered and not sought. I'm relieved that your strength has increased. This way, in the competition for the number 1 vanguard of the 100 Race Alliance, your opponents will at most be 1 level higher than you. In terms of your actual combat strength, this level is nothing. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow was also happy. This was because the energy contained in a level 4 Emperor realm and a level 5 Emperor realm was different. With enough energy, one's realm and combat skills could be unleashed. After Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao drank some wine, Night Sorrow went to experience his new realm. The next afternoon, while Night Sorrow was practicing his spear, the Grand Elder and Chirue went to Night Sorrow's courtyard. In just one night, your cultivation increased by more than 1 level? The Grand Elder looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Not in one night. My original body ended its enlightenment. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at the Grand Elder and Chirue. My power of merit is also much richer. I'll return to Blood Kirin Mountain later. I'll have to trouble you. Your humanitarian league is pretty good. Chirue said to Night Sorrow. Lord Clan Leader, you're too kind. This is my wife. I wonder if she can accompany me to Blood Kirin Mountain? Night Sorrow asked. Sure, you're very welcome. Then prepare yourselves. Let me know when you're ready. Chirue nodded. He was a virtuous beast, an auspicious beast. He had a good impression of virtuous people, so he didn't reject Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow, I already know that Pu Luo helped you find the underworld stone. I'll take a look at it for you. When you return from Blood Kirin Mountain, it'll be almost done. The Grand Elder said. Lord Chirue, we can leave at any time. Night Sorrow thanks Grand Elder. Night Sorrow bowed to the Grand Elder. In the afternoon, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao set off with Chirue to the Blood Kirin clan's territory. After a few teleportation circles, they began to fly. The three of them were very fast. In 2 days, the three of them arrived at the foot of a mountain. This is the birthplace of the Blood Kirin clan. It is also the place where the Blood Kirin clan cultivates. However, even though we are a clan, we do not have many members. After saying that, Chirue opened up the great protective array of the Blood Kirin Mountain. Then, under Chirue's lead, they continued to fly. Blood Kirin Mountain was a place of auspiciousness. Auspicious clouds floated and all kinds of birds chirped. After a while, the three of them arrived in front of a palace. Then, a group of mother and daughter came out to greet them. Yishang, these two are my wife, Lin Xiao, and my daughter, Lin Yun. They are the virtuous Merit Emperor, Yishang, and his wife. Chirue introduced them. Chapter 1831. Then, they entered the main hall. Night Sorrow, I have 2 sons and 2 daughters. Lin Yun is the eldest daughter. My second son is not in the Blood Kirin Mountain. My third son is Qi. My other daughter is Lin Yu. After sitting down, Chirue gave a detailed introduction. Lord Patriarch, if there's anything you need me to do, just let me know. Night Sorrow will definitely not be stingy. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Chirue and Lin Xiao and nodded towards Lin Yun. Since we're here, we should rest first. Lin Yun, arrange a place for our guest to rest, Chirue said to his daughter. Next, under Lin Yun's lead, Night Sorrow's group of 3 arrived before a building on Blood Kirin Mountain. My apologies, my 2 guests. Our Blood Kirin Mountain has never had a guest before. Thus, we do not have a VIP building to receive guests. This is just a loft for you to rest in. Your Highness is too polite. Night Sorrow cupped his hands and said, the patriarch of the Blood Kirin clan was the Blood Kirin king. His children were naturally the princes and princesses. Don't call me that. Actually, I should be the one calling you Lord. Our Bloodscale clan is a virtuous beast clan, but we have yet to reach the virtuous emperor level. However, Lord is already a virtuous emperor. Lin Yun cupped her hands and returned the greeting. Her actions were very magnanimous. After making arrangements for Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao, Lin Yun returned to the main hall of the Blood Qilin Mountain. When Lin Yun entered the main hall, she realized that the atmosphere wasn't right. Both her parents had sorrowful expressions on their faces. Father, Mother, can't even the human emperor of merit and virtue help me? Our Bloodscale clan only has a few members. No matter what method we use, we have to let our little sister wake up and grow up, Lin Yun said. It was very difficult for the Blood Qilin race to continue to exist. Those who were close relatives and those who were ethically incompatible were not allowed to marry. The members of the Blood Qilin race would all go to the ordinary Qilin race to find a spouse. It could even be said that even if they found a spouse, they might not be able to have any descendants. However, if there were any descendants, they would definitely be from the Blood Qilin race, the royal family of the Qilin race. Chirue was from the Blood Qilin race, but Lin Xiao was not. Her true form was an Ice Qilin. There were very few Blood Kirins in existence at the moment, so Chirue had been trying to find a way to solve his daughter's problem. This time, he had found a human. It's not about your little sister. It's about your third brother, Qi. Chirue sighed and told him about the Blood Kirin evil slaying spear. Lin Yun sat down, feeling a little bitter. Father, we don't fight, but the black dragons have colluded with the demon-winged race and have already attacked us. We have a good relationship with the human race, so why don't we join the war? I will consider this matter. The birth of the Merit Emperor of the human clan is different from the past. In addition, don't think about taking back the blood Qilin evil-slaying spear. Night Sorrow values it very much. Chi Rui told them about Night Sorrow's attitude at that time. The second day after Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao arrived, Lin Xiao and Lin Yun went to their resting area and asked if they were used to it. While drinking tea and chatting, Lin Yun stood up. I know that Lord Night's weapon can't be used by others, but can you hold it for me to take a look? Night Sorrow understood that Chi Rui should have told his wife and daughter about the blood Qilin evil punishing spear. Night Sorrow nodded and stood up. He took out the blood Qilin evil punishing spear and handed it to Lin Yun with both hands. Can I hold it? Lin Yun looked at Night Sorrow and asked in surprise. Of course. Night Sorrow put the blood Qilin evil punishing spear in Lin Yun's hands. Lin Yun touched the tip of the blood Qilin evil punishing spear and cried. Next time, whether your father is willing or not, I will fight. The demon-winged race must pay the price for hurting Qi. Lin Zhao's face was full of anger. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. This was an internal matter of the Qilin clan. Lin Xiao wasn't a blood Qilin, so the way he handled the problem was different from Chi Rui and Lin Yun. Seeing that Lin Xiao and Lin Yun were a little emotional, Lin Piaomiao made a pot of heart-cleansing tea. When are we going to solve the little princess's problem? Night Sorrow asked. So, my father is making a kind of elixir. Once the elixir is solved, we can start to unblock her meridians. Lin Yun said and handed the blood Qilin evil punishing spear to Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao also wanted to take a look. Lin Xiao took the blood Qilin evil punishing spear and looked at it. You are good at making weapons, but the materials are not good. Since you are going to stay in the blood Qilin mountain for a while, can you leave the spear with me for a few days? I will put it in the holy light pond for a baptism. It will improve a lot. This? Night Sorrow doesn't dare to trouble you. Night Sorrow was stunned. I just don't want the blood Qilin evil punishing spear to be damaged in the future. This is what I can do for Qi Yi as his mother. Lin Xiao said. Thank you. Night Sorrow didn't refuse. After sitting for a while, Lin Xiao and Lin Yun left. There are differences in race, which leads to different personalities. The chief's wife is more violent. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow nodded. But he understood that people with virtuous bodies and ordinary cultivators saw the world differently. On the fourth day after Night Sorrow's arrival, Chi Rui came to the loft where Night Sorrow was staying. How was your rest these few days? Chi Rui looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'm just not used to not having the spear with me. Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was carrying a simple black iron spear on his back. It was very thick and was used to find the right feeling. The Holy Light Pond is the place where the blood Qilin tribe goes through the baptism of the body after birth. Putting the blood Qilin evil punishing spear in there is good for you. Don't worry. Chi Rui said. He had already lectured Lin Xiao about this matter. It was inappropriate and too reckless. The Holy Light Pond was one of the most important core inheritances of the blood Qilin clan. Every member of the blood Qilin clan was born and baptized by the Holy Light Pond. Only then would their talents be outstanding. If a weapon was placed in the Holy Light Pond, there would be more unstable factors. It could even be said that if there were other souls hidden in the Holy Light Pond, there would be some impact. But Chi Rui couldn't stop Lin Xiao in time. Thank you, Lord Chief. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Chi Rui. Let's go take a look today. How's my daughter? Chi Rui. Okay. Night Sorrow nodded. Then, under Chi Rui's lead, the three of them went to the main hall of the blood Qilin mountain. Lin Xiao and Lin Yun followed them, and the group went to the highest point of the blood Qilin mountain. Magic array. Night Sorrow noticed that there was a magic array here. The magic array gathered rays of golden light and fell on the core of the magic array. At the core of the magic array was a jade platform. On the platform, a girl was sleeping. Night Sorrow knew that she was the little princess of the blood Qilin tribe, Lin Yu. She was a member of the blood Qilin tribe who had not woken up since birth. She was also the target of his help this time. Chapter 1832. Chi Rui cast a spell and opened the door of the 100 Spirits formation. He walked in with them and touched the girl's hand. His eyes were filled with pain and love. Night Sorrow could feel the sadness and helplessness in Chi Rui's heart. He was also a father. Children were the flesh and blood of parents. If they could exchange their lives for their children's health, they would be willing to do so. What do you need me to do? Night Sorrow sighed and asked. Use the power of virtue to unblock my daughter's meridians. Although she has a human body, the meridians in her body are different from those of the human race. Originally, she should have the body of a Qilin, but because the spiritual energy of heaven and earth is gathered here, and the human race is the spirit of the 100 races, her body naturally transformed into a human body. What you need to do is to unblock her meridians under the guidance of my soul power. Mainly the meridians that connect her body to her spirit ocean. Chi-Rei said, No problem. Night Sorrow nodded. Translator, Nyoibo Studio Editor, Nyoibo Studio, War Emperor Lin, we are here to save people. You and Lin Yun will be responsible for some security issues. Chi Rui said to his daughter and Lin Piaomiao. Don't worry, clan leader. As long as Piaomiao is here, no one will disturb us. Lin Piaomiao nodded. Lin Xiao, you and I will activate the 100 Spirits formation. We will gather energy and work together with Night Sorrow to repair Lin Yu's meridians. Chi Rui said to his wife. After dividing the work, Chi Rui opened the formation and allowed Lin Yun and Lin Piaomiao to stand guard outside. Then he took out 3 cushions. After we start, Night Sorrow, follow the guidance of my soul power and unblock her meridians. My wife and I will control the formation's energy to nourish her meridians. Chi Rui told Night Sorrow some details after he sat down. Then he gave Lin Yu a pill. After everything was ready, Night Sorrow placed his right hand on Lin Yu's wrist and waited for Chi Rui's guidance. After a while, a red light appeared in Lin Yu's wrist. Night Sorrow knew that it was Chi Rui's soul power. Night Sorrow controlled the power of virtue and channeled it into Lin Yu's body. To open up her meridians, he had to start from the wrist. This was the starting point. Lin Yu's meridians were very small and weak. Night Sorrow carefully circulated his power of virtue because if he was not careful, he would shatter Lin Yu's meridians. That would not be a rescue but a murder. It was very difficult. Lin Yu's meridians could not withstand energy and only the power of virtue could do it. Moreover, the resistance was very strong. This was also the reason why Chi Rui could not do it himself and needed help. Even though he had monstrous strength, his energy was ineffective against Lin Yu's meridians. Night Sorrow sat cross-legged as he continuously channeled the power of merit into Lin Yu's meridians, clearing them bit by bit. It was very slow. Luckily, it didn't consume much of Night Sorrow's merit power. As long as the merit power didn't scatter, it wasn't lost. Lin Yu's meridians just absorbed some. 3 days later, Night Sorrow's power of virtue reached Lin Yu's shoulder, which meant that an arm had been opened up. Next, the meridians in the body were cleared up. The real rescue had only just begun. Night Sorrow was very calm. He had already closed his mind and felt Chi Rui's power of soul guiding him to carry out the rescue. Time slipped away bit by bit. After a month, all the meridians in Lin Yu's body were cleared up. Of course, only the main meridians were cleared up. Next was the most important part of the rescue. The meridians connected to the spirit ocean were cleared up and repaired. According to Chi Rui, Lin Yu had consciousness. It was just that she couldn't control her body and couldn't wake up. Now that the meridians were repaired, the only thing left was to repair her neck and spirit ocean. Once this step was completed, Lin Yu would wake up. Chi Rui was very careful now. Under the guidance of his power of soul, Night Sorrow had no problems clearing up Lin Yu's meridians in the past month. This meant that the key to success or failure was his guidance. While controlling the gentle energy of the 100 Spirit Array to repair Lin Yu's meridians that were cleared up by Night Sorrow, he carefully guided Night Sorrow's power of virtue to continue clearing the meridians. At this moment, something happened outside the Blood Qilin Mountain. 2 men in black suddenly appeared. Black dragons, you dare to invade my Blood Qilin Mountain. Do you want to die? Lin Yun's face was filled with anger. If the Black Dragons didn't attack the Blood Qilin clan, her mother Lin Xiao wouldn't be injured and Lin Yu wouldn't be in a coma. The Black Dragons were the main culprits. If we want to die, you have to be able to kill us first. Don't you want to kill us? Stop joking. My clan's great elder has already divined the situation of your Blood Qilin mountain today. Only the two of you can be free. That old bull Blood Qilin king and that bitch Lin Xiao are both busy. One of the men in black said. Lin Piaomiao held her long sword. She knew that things were getting troublesome because the Black Dragons had a premeditated plan. They attacked when the Blood Qilin king, Qi Rui and Lin Xiao were busy. Lin Yun grabbed Lin Piaomiao's wrist and didn't let her move. Although she was angry, she didn't lose her calm. If you have the ability, then attack. My Blood Qilin clan won't fight. But you Black Dragons have to pick a fight. Then we'll see. Maybe today will be the day that you Black Dragons will be sowed the seeds of disaster. Lin Yun said. Long Ya, break the array. The black-robed man who spoke soared into the air and transformed into a black dragon that was thousands of feet long. The black dragon flipped its body and whipped its tail towards the defensive shield of the Blood Qilin Mountain's protective array. Lin Yun stretched out her arm and a ray of energy rose from the Blood Qilin Mountain. It rushed out along the light red defensive barrier. Following an explosion, the black dragon's tail and the defensive barrier's energy collided, giving off a deafening boom. At this time, the other black dragon called Dragoncliff, who had transformed into his true form, whipped his tail at the gap after the mountain protecting formation launched its attack, firmly hitting the defensive barrier of the mountain protecting formation. The barrier didn't break, but it shook a few times. Lin Piaomiao knew that the two black dragons were both emperor ranks and had powerful fighting strength. If this continued, only an 8-star emperor or middle-class emperor rank Lin Yun wouldn't be able to stop them. The defensive strength of the defensive barrier depended on the controller's strength. Inside the 100-spirit formation, Qi Rui's eyes glowed. He knew that the Blood Qilin Mountain was under attack and Lin Yun wouldn't be able to hold on for long. They had to race against time. If they were killed before Lin Yu was healed, then everything would be for naught. Qi Rui knew that the opponent had calculated this and attacked at the crucial moment of healing. If they could stop when they were clearing the body, they couldn't stop at the crucial moment of healing the Divine Sea. Increasing the speed was the only thing Qi Rui could grasp and the only way to resolve this predicament. Chapter 1833. War Emperor Lin. The ones here today are two elders from the Black Dragons, Long Yang and Long Ya. These are two mad dogs. Once the defensive formation is broken, I'll hold them off for a while. Hurry over to the 100 Spirits formation. Lin Yun said to Lin Piaomiao as she controlled the defensive formation. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. However, her impression of the Blood Qilin clan had improved. Lin Yun still asked her to retreat at such a critical moment. This was a display of virtue. However, she couldn't retreat because this involved Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow's attention was focused on treating Lin Yu. If he was disturbed at this moment, the consequences would be severe. If it was light, he would be severely injured. If it was serious, he might even go berserk. Long Yang and Long Ya had a better understanding of the Blood Qilin clan's protective mountain array. They focused on attacking the weak points. The protective mountain array began to shake. Open up a crack. I'll go out and buy some time, Lin Piaomiao said. No, this is too dangerous, Lin Yun said as she controlled the array. I'll hold off one of them first. Only one of them can attack the formation. The formation can hold on for a while longer, Lin Piaomiao said. But I can't explain it to Father and Lord Yi. Lin Yun refused at first. Hurry up, there's not much time left. Lin Piaomiao shouted to Lin Yun. The two black dragons were very strong. Lin Piaomiao estimated that they were members of the Black Dragons who had passed their emperor's tribulation. However, she had to stand out now. Lin Yun waved her left hand and opened up a gap in the mountain guarding array. Lin Piaomiao rushed out. Long Ya! Kill him! Long Yang shouted at another black dragon as he attacked the mountain guarding array. The situation became a battle between the two sides. Lin Piaomiao and Long Ya began to fight while Long Yang attacked the shaking Blood Qilin Mountain's protective array. Chirui was very anxious. But he still steadily guided Night Sorrow's power of merit to Lin Yu's neck meridians and repair her spirit ocean. Both sides were racing against time. Forever freebie fee/t look at 8 small. Say MG outside the Blood Qilin Mountains protective array, Lin Piaomiao's domain that was filled with purple light began to fight with Long Ya. The black dragons, Long Ya, who was originally good at fighting head-on, was suppressed by Lin Piaomiao. Lin Piaomiao had the body of Emperor Might. Her domain was supported by the Force domain. It was filled with an unstoppable momentum. Long Ya could not withstand it at all. Can the Grand Mountain Protection Array withstand it? At that moment, Long Yang's massive body swayed and another black dragon appeared. Doppelganger. Long Yang unleashed his clone. His true body and his clone attacked the mountain-protecting array formation violently. Long Ya, who couldn't withstand Lin Piaomiao's attacks, also used his doppelganger. While switching between his original body and his doppelganger, he also continuously cooperated with Long Yang to attack the protective mountain array. With an explosion, the Blood Qilin Mountains mountain guarding formation was broken under the combined attack of Long Yang, his clone, and Long Ya. It was not that the Blood Qilin Mountains mountain guarding formation was not good enough. It was because the Black Dragons had specially studied the mountain guarding formation of the Blood Qilin Mountain and knew the weak points. In addition, the 100 Spirits Great Array at the peak of the Blood Qilin Mountain had been fully activated. It had absorbed the energy that was supposed to be used for the mountain guarding formation, causing the mountain guarding formation to be broken. After the mountain guarding formation was broken, Qi Rui's body flashed with light. A doppelganger flashed and then came out of the 100 Spirits Great Array. Since the mountain guarding formation was broken, he had to fight. Even if the doppelganger's battle would affect his original body's state of mind, he had to fight. Qi Rui had just arrived at the battlefield. Before he could attack Long Yang and Long Ya, a middle-aged man wearing a black robe with golden edges and a golden crown appeared. Long Zhe, do you really want the Blood Qilin clan to fight to the death with the Black Dragons? Qi Rui looked at the middle-aged man wearing the golden crown and asked. Qi Rui, if this king was afraid of the Blood Qilin clan's endless threats, he wouldn't have come today. The black-robed man called Long Zhe by Qi Rui said. He was the king of the Black Dragons, Long Zhe. Well, since we have already shed all pretense of cordiality, no matter what happens in today's battle, you just have to wait for the Black Dragons to be attacked by me. I have been defending passively for many years and my vow to not take the initiative to attack others is broken today. In the name of my ancestors, I am willing to accept any punishment. Qi Rui looked up at the sky and said. As soon as Qi Rui's voice fell, a black light appeared in the sky. The black light fell on Qi Rui and enveloped him. When the black light dissipated, a black lightning-shaped mark appeared in between Qi Rui's eyebrows. Fallen Qilin. Qi Rui, are you crazy? Long Zhe was stunned. Ha! Not fighting and not fighting, but it became the capital for others to humiliate the Blood Qilin clan. Today, I gave up my merit body and fell into the darkness to make the Black Dragons pay the price in blood. Qi Rui pointed at Long Zhe and shouted. Kill! Long Zhe moved. His doppelganger appeared and attacked Qi Rui with his doppelganger. Qi Rui had no choice but to choose the fallen path because he knew that Long Zhe would fight with his doppelganger. If he did not choose the fallen path to increase his combat strength, he would not be able to stop Long Zhe when his original body could not fight. The battle became intense and the battlefield moved towards the 100 Spirits formation. Lin Piaomiao suppressed Long Ya and kept Long Yang restrained. In the 100 Spirits formation, Qi Rui stood up. He had finished guiding Lin Yu. Now, he could only rely on Night Sorrow to save Lin Yu. In order to buy some time, he gave up his merit body. The price was not small. Qi Rui touched Lin Yu's cheek and then came out of the 100 Spirits formation. You dare to hurt the honorable guest of the Blood Qilin clan? That Qi Rui went to the battlefield and slapped at Long Yang's original body. Lin Piaomiao had to restrain Long Ya and Long Yang. She was stabbed in the chest by Long Yang. It was not that Lin Piaomiao's combat strength was weak. She was only a doppelganger. Long Yang and Long Ya were fighting with their original bodies and doppelganger. Lin Yun could only restrain one of them. Qi Rui attacked continuously and killed Long Yang's original body and Long Ye's doppelganger. At this time, Long Zhe's original body came to stop Qi Rui. Long Zhe knew that he had lost this time. It was different from what he had expected. Qi Rui had chosen the path of depravity. He was no longer a beast but a fallen sky Qilin. A fallen sky Qilin that controlled the fire of destruction was not something he could stop. After blocking Qi Rui's attack, Long Zhe ordered Long Yang and Long Ye to retreat. He could only leave after the two elders retreated. If he retreated first, the two black dragons would have to stay in Blood Qilin Mountain. After Night Sorrow repaired the damage to Qilin Moon's divine sea and connected it to his meridians, he woke up from his meditative state. As he probed, he saw Lin Piaomiao kneeling on one knee on the ground with a long sword in her right hand. In a flash, Night Sorrow rushed out of the 100 Spirits formation. However, he was blocked by the 100 Spirits formation. My words are law. Activate the array. Yishan was furious. The 100 Spirits formation was a gentle formation. After being affected by Night Sorrow's power of virtue, it opened a crack. Night Sorrow flashed and landed beside Lin Piaomiao. He helped her up. Sister Xian, how are you? Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. I'm fine. It's just that the meridians outside my dantian are broken. I can't use my energy and can't continue fighting. Lin Piaomiao shook her head at Night Sorrow. She could see that Night Sorrow was worried and anxious. Night Sorrow used his right hand as a knife and cut open the meridians on his left wrist. My blood has strong recovery power. Drink a mouthful. Black dragons, today, I, Night Sorrow, swear that as long as I'm alive, you won't have peace. Chapter 1834. Both Qi Rui and his doppelganger joined the battle and Long Zhe was suppressed. Seeing that Qi Rui had abandoned his body of merit and transformed into a fallen sky Qilin, Long Zhe no longer had any desire to win. He just wanted to give the elder of the black dragons a chance to retreat because he had no chance of winning. Qi Rui was too strong now. Long Zhe was only passively defending. It was unrealistic for Qi Rui to defeat Long Zhe in a short period of time. After all, Long Zhe was one of the top experts in the world. After his subordinates retreated safely, Long Zhe also left in a flash. Long Zhe, remember this. I still have other things to do today. I won't chase after you. After I'm done with my business, you black dragons can wait for my revenge. If I don't kill all of you black dragons, you can say that I'm useless. Qi Rui roared at Long Zhe, who was retreating. He was furious. The black dragons had provoked them again and again. They had even seriously hurt the Blood Qilin clan. He couldn't tolerate this. Long Zhe, who had retreated from the Blood Qilin mountain, had a change of expression. Qi Rui's combat strength was outstanding. Now that he had abandoned his body of merit and transformed into a fallen sky Qilin, his combat strength would be even stronger. No one could withstand the black dragons. However, what had happened had happened. Long Zhe could only retreat and think of a countermeasure when he returned. Qi Rui would definitely take revenge. Long Zhe was also afraid of the consequences. Seeing that the black dragons had retreated, Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with anger. Qi Rui was taking advantage of the situation. Night Sorrow took a deep breath and helped Lin Piaomiao up. Sister Xian, are you okay? This doppelganger probably needs to rest for a while. Lin Piaomiao took out a robe and put it on over her damaged skirt. Then, she tied the robe. Night Sorrow, War Emperor Lin, my Blood Qilin clan owes you a big favor. Qi Rui cupped his hands at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. Then he gave Lin Yun a storage ring. After letting Lin Yun take care of Lin Piaomiao and Night Sorrow to rest, Qi Rui entered the 100 Spirits Great Array. Lin Yun sent Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao to their resting loft, but she wasn't in a good mood. Lin Yun took out 2 bottles of pills from her storage ring and passed them to Lin Piaomiao. These are the Unity pills concocted by my father. They have great healing properties. War Emperor Lin, please take them first. I'm also in a hurry to check on my father and sister. Go. There's nothing here, Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Yun cupped her hands towards Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao before leaving. She was very anxious. Sister Xian, how are you? Night Sorrow asked Lin Piaomiao. What's wrong with your blood? His recovery ability is very strong. Now that his tendons and meridians have not worsened, he is already in the recovery stage. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. She did not understand the situation. My body contains the 8 Dragon Cauldrons medicine spirit. My recovery ability is a bit stronger. That unity pill should be quite effective. Hurry up and take it. Enter the space to speed up your recovery. Seeing that Lin Piaomiao's mental state had recovered a bit, Yishan felt a lot more at ease. Lin Piaomiao entered the spatial treasure to recover. Only Night Sorrow was left in the loft. He was deep in thought. He knew that the Bloodscale clan and the Black Dragons had reached a point where they would not rest until one of them was dead. The main reason was that the Black Dragons had gone too far. Since the Bloodscale clan had matters to attend to, Night Sorrow did not disturb them. He sat cross-legged and cultivated. Over the past month, Night Sorrow had not expended much energy. He had used the power of virtue to heal Linyu, but he had not expended much of it. After all, not everyone could absorb the power of virtue. He had only used the power of virtue to help Linyu open up and nourish her meridians. On the 3rd day after the battle, Lin Rui, Lin Xiao and Lin Yun went to Night Sorrow's loft. How is the little princess? Night Sorrow asked as he welcomed them into the loft. Lin Yu is awake. She just needs to rest for a while. Thank you and War King Lin. Without you, Lin Yu would never have been able to wake up again, Lin Rui said as he sat down. How are you? Night Sorrow was worried about Lin Rui. I am fine. I just cannot be the leader of the Bloodscale clan anymore, Lin Rui said. I don't understand. Night Sorrow shook his head. The Scale clan is an auspicious and virtuous beast. The Bloodscale clan is the leader. That day, it was an emergency. To increase my power, I gave up my merit body and became a fallen scale blood scale. The outside world calls it the fallen sky scale, Lin Rui said. Is it a big deal? Night Sorrow asked. It is not a big deal. I may have lost my merit body, but I have not lost my virtue. I cannot be the leader, but I can be a great elder. If you need anything in the future, come to the Bloodscale clan and I can help you. Lin Rui smiled and tried to ease the tension. I didn't prepare enough. The main problem is that the Black Dragon clan is too despicable. This time, they injured my wife. I will not let this matter rest. If my cultivation base is not high enough, then I will raise my cultivation base. They will have to pay the price. Killing intent appeared on Yishang's face. I will not let this go either. They wanted to kill my little daughter. I cannot live under the same sky as them. They hurt an important guest of the Bloodscale clan. If I do not give them an explanation, I will not be able to face the Grand Elder of the human race. The Bloodscale clan will not be able to face the world, Lin Rui said. It is nothing. The Bloodscale clan and the human race are good friends. As a human, I can do something for the Bloodscale clan. This is nothing, Night Sorrow said. Then let's not talk about this first. How is War Emperor Lin now? Lin raised. He has entered the time acceleration treasure to recover. I do not know the details. Night Sorrow shook his head. Lin Rui told Night Sorrow to inform him immediately if there was any news about Lin Piaomiao. Then he left the pavilion with his wife and daughter. He still had some things to deal with. 7 days later, Lin Piaomiao came out of seclusion. She used 10 days in the real world to recover in the space acceleration treasure, which was equivalent to more than a year's time. This was because her treasure, the glazed pagoda, sped up time by 40 times. Sister Xin Er, how is your recovery? Night Sorrow asked worriedly when he saw Lin Piaomiao coming out of seclusion. Lin Piaomiao saw Night Sorrow's anxious expression and quickly held Night Sorrow's hand and said, I have completely recovered. There is not even a scar left. So don't worry. That's good. I was worried sick. Night Sorrow heaved a sigh of relief. If anything happened to Lin Piaomiao, he would never forgive himself. He was the one who asked Lin Piaomiao to come with him. How is Lin Yu now? Has she woken up? Lin Piaomiao asked Night Sorrow after sitting down. She has woken up. But Patriarch Lin Rui said that she needs to rest for a period of time. Night Sorrow said while making tea. Well, That means that the hard work was not in vain. This is a good thing. Night Sorrow nodded. #forever free KF reading novels. Just as the two of them were about to leave the pavilion for the main hall of the Bloodscale Mountain, Lin Ray brought Lin Yun over. Chapter 1835. War Emperor Lin, I'm sorry that the Blood Qilin clan has not been a good host. Chiruei cupped his hands at Lin Piaomiao. He knew that if it wasn't for Lin Piaomiao's desperate efforts to stop the Black Dragons, he wouldn't have had the time to guide Night Sorrow to complete the treatment of Lin Yu. You're too kind, Lord Clan Leader. It's nothing. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. Clan Leader. I'm no longer the clan leader of the Blood Qilin clan. After some consideration, I've decided to pass the position of clan leader to Lin Yun. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao also congratulated Lin Yun. They knew that Lin Yun didn't want the congratulations as it meant a lot to the Blood Qilin clan. Chiruei giving up his body of merit was a painful thing for Lin Yun. Lin Yun returned the Blood Qilin evil slayer that had been baptized by the Holy Light Pond to Night Sorrow. As Night Sorrow had to prepare for the battle as the first vanguard of the 100 Tribe Alliance, he didn't stay in the Blood Qilin Mountain for too long. After a few days, he left the Blood Qilin Mountain with Lin Piaomiao. Worried about Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao's safety, Chiruei sent them back to the Heavenly Desolate City. The Grand Elder of the Heavenly Desolate City was shocked to see Chiruei with a black lightning mark between his eyebrows. It's nothing. I just gave up my body of merit and didn't become a demon. I'm still your old friend, Chiruei said as he looked at the shocked Grand Elder. Senior, please continue your chat with the Grand Elder. I'll leave with my wife first. Night Sorrow saw that Chiruei and the Grand Elder had something to talk about and was about to leave. All right, you two go and rest. The Grand Elder nodded at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow, War Emperor Lin, you know the way to the Blood Qilin Mountain. The Blood Qilin Mountain welcomes you too. You will forever be honored guests of the Blood Qilin clan. Chiruei nodded at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao who were about to leave. It could be considered a promise to them. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the courtyard after cupping their fists at Chiruei again. In the courtyard hall, Pu Luo and the Great Demon King were chatting. The two of you have been gone for almost 2 months. Was the Blood Qilin Mountain fun? I only know that the Blood Qilin Mountain is an auspicious place, but I don't have the opportunity to enter it, Pu Luo said. Is it fun? I almost lost my life. Lin Piaomiao said after sitting down. This was the first time she had suffered such a serious injury. What's the situation? They were not friendly? The Humanitarian League can't take this lying down. The Demon King was dissatisfied. No, the Blood Qilin Mountain was attacked. Lin Piaomiao explained the situation. The Black Dragon clan is really despicable. Even snakes know that they have to cultivate steadily. The Black Dragon clan is really despicable. They keep fighting this and that. They even shamelessly get addicted to sneak attacks. The Great Demon King cursed. That's right. Over the years, the Black Dragons had attacked the 100 Races Alliance many times. They had attacked the human race's Tianhuang City. Some time ago, they came to investigate. This time, they attacked the Blood Qilin Mountain again. They were very annoying. In the future, kill any member of the Black Dragons you see. No wonder the human race's elders were so ruthless to us. The Black Dragons are really despicable. Night Sorrow was still angry. Luckily, Chiruei had intervened in time. Otherwise, Lin Piaomiao's clone would have died. However, at this moment, he remembered the dragon language. We will remember this. If we have the chance, we will kill them. The Great Demon King said. Although the 7 founders of the Humanitarian League did not have much interaction with each other, they respected each other very much. The Great Demon King and Pu Luo were very unhappy that something like this had happened. By the way, the work you asked us to do for you is done. The Grand Elder knew that you wanted the underworld stones and found 2 in the Tianhuang City. I found one in the warehouse of the Pueyuo Mountain. Pu Luo took out 3 underworld stones and handed them to Night Sorrow. I didn't do it for nothing. I also got 2 pieces. I reckon that all the stock in the human race world has been brought here. The great demon king took out 2 underworld stones. 5 pieces. In addition to the original piece, I have 6 pieces. That's enough. There are still 3 months before the competition for the number 1 vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance. There's not enough time. I'll go cultivate after the competition, Yishan said. Elder Lin, we might have to fight this time. The conditions for the 100 Races Alliance's first commander have been released. We can participate. The great demon king said with a smile. I won't participate this time. With you around, the first commander will also stay in the human race. Lin Piaomiao said. Are you going easy on me? The great demon king put down his teacup and said with some dissatisfaction. I'm not going easy on you. I'm not injured. Although I'm fine now, I still need to recuperate. The main point is that I feel that our humanitarian league cannot allow our own people to take action against each other. No matter how big the conflict of interest is, we can't set this precedent. Lin Piaomiao said. Top of chapter, that makes sense. This demon king is being petty. Let's not talk about favors. In the future, when we meet the black dragons, this demon king will kill them and drag them back to eat with wine. I will call Elder Lin. The great demon king cupped his hands at Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow, your spear seems different. Pu Luo looked at the spear on Night Sorrow's back and said, It is different. After being baptized in the holy light pond of the Blood Qilin clan, it is now the virtuous spear. It suits me very well. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Night Sorrow's Blood Qilin evil-slaying spear had been baptized in the holy light pond of the Blood Qilin clan for a month and completed its evolution. It had absorbed some energy from the holy light pond, and the Blood Qilin tailbone had also absorbed some merit power. This spear is powerful. It's a good weapon. You have to give it to your main body. Pu Luo said. Cultivators would usually equip their main body with their best weapons and armor because the main body was the most important. It had to maintain the highest combat power. The death of the main body and the death of the clone were completely different. There's really no need for that. My main body's weapon is not bad either. Night Sorrow said with a smile. I didn't notice anything different about your main body's weapon? Pu Luo asked. That is the Origin Divine Spear. The tip of the spear is made of reincarnation stone. After being nourished by the origin of 2 worlds, the effect is still very good. The main thing is that the spear has been with me since I was hunting in the past. In other words, before I started cultivating, the spear has been with me. It has a perfect compatibility, Night Sorrow said. The Origin Divine Spear is also more powerful. It seems that you have your own considerations. Then get ready. If the 100 Races Alliance's first vanguard and first commander are both in our humanitarian league, then our humanitarian league will become famous. Pu Luo was more excited. Great Demon King, can you do it? Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King and asked with a smile. What are you asking? When have I ever failed? Can you do it? The Great Demon King retorted, his eyes landing on Lin Piaomiao. Chapter 1836. You don't have the final say. Only Sect Elder Lin has the final say. The Great Demon King acted as if he didn't see everyone's disdain. Everyone understood what the Great Demon King meant. Would this work? He was referring to the relationship between a man and a woman. Equals original, T/A equals original. Lin Piaomiao looked at the Great Demon King and spat out 2 words, shameless. The Great Demon King laughed, shameless? Why don't I feel that you guys are the ones doing shameless things? You guys are going off topic while chatting. Let's stop joking. If the first commander and first vanguard are both in our humanitarian league, then our humanitarian league's fame will greatly increase. Pu Luo said. Night Sorrow took a deep breath. I can only do my best to keep this first vanguard in our human race. Night Sorrow is fine. This Demon King will also be fine. The Great Demon King said. Pu Luo and Lin Piaomiao both nodded. They naturally had a measure of strength in their hearts. In the last 100 Race Alliance conference, Lin Piaomiao obtained the first commander position. At that time, she was a middle-class emperor rank. Of course, she had the strength to fight above her rank. Back then she couldn't be compared to now. Now, she surpassed peak emperor rank and became a cultivator that passed 6 calamities. The great demon king was on par with her. Therefore, there was no suspense in the competition for the first commander position. After staying in Desolate City for 2 days and sending Qi Rui off, Night Sorrow and Lin Piamiao left Desolate City and went to Yawa Mountain first. Yi Shang gave the Yellow Springs stone to his main body and merged it with his main body. The 100 Race Alliance Conference was about to begin. Therefore, Night Sorrow planned to leave Yawu Mountain for a period of time. King Yawu agreed to this. In addition, a few days ago, Night Sorrow's main body told King Yawu everything that happened on Blood Kirin Mountain. You too be careful. You're the best among the young generation, but there are many experts in the older generation. Piao Miao, you've seen it too. The black dragons are indeed very strong, said King Yawu. Yes, that black dragon King Long Zhe is very domineering. If he wanted to kill me, even if my original body and doppelganger were to stay together, we wouldn't be able to hold on for long. Lin Piamiao nodded. He's a cultivator who's gone through a few imperial tests, so he's not someone who hasn't gone through an imperial test can stop. However, there's still a big gap between him and Qi Rui. This time, he caught Qi Rui trying to save his daughter, so he didn't have time to spare. Instead, he made a big mistake. Qi Rui won't let them go. The Blood Kylan King in the past and the Fallen Sky Kylan now are completely different, said King Yawu. So, if the black dragons can't withstand Qi Rui's revenge, they'll be in danger of being destroyed? Asked Lin Piamiao. It's not that simple. Long Zhe hasn't been the Black Dragon King for a long time. The most powerful one was the previous Black Dragon King, Long Tianyuan. Long Tianyuan had a battle with the city lord of Tianhuang City. After he was injured, he gave up the position of the Black Dragon King. Long Zhe is his successor. Qi Rui is very strong, and he'll be even stronger after transforming into a Fallen Sky Kylan. He can suppress any of the black dragons, but he can't kill them all by himself. However, this is a potential threat to the black dragons. The black dragons can't follow Qi Rui all the time. If they don't, Qi Rui can kill them whenever he wants. It's a headache for anyone, explained King Yawu to Night Sorrow and Lin Piamiao. The black dragons forced Qi Rui to give up his virtuous body and become a Fallen Sky Kylan. It's a pity, said Night Sorrow. However, he couldn't stop this from happening. There's nothing to be sorry about. Fallen Sky Kylan is the glory of the Qilin clan. The Fallen Sky Kylan that appeared in history were all very strong. Not only would they not be despised by the Qilin clan, they would also be respected. This is because no member of the Qilin clan would be willing to give up their virtuous achievements to become a Fallen Sky Kylan. Once a Fallen Sky Kylan appears, it will automatically become the supreme of the Qilin clan, explained King Yawu to Night Sorrow. It's very complicated. However, the defense and strength of the Blood Kylan Mountain are indeed a little weak. If the black dragons attack with all their strength, can they stop it? Asked Night Sorrow. You're thinking too much. This is an unexpected situation. In order to save his daughter, Qi Rui didn't control the protective formation himself. Even if his wife controlled it, it wouldn't be that easy to break it. According to the analysis of the situation at that time, if Qi Rui's wife, Lin Xiao, could take action, she would only need to hold Long Zhe back for a moment. Would the other black dragons have a chance to survive? Moreover, if the battle was in a stalemate for a while, the Fire Kylan clan and the Black Kylan clan would come to support. Then the battle would be over. King Yawu explained to Night Sorrow. It wasn't that the Blood Kylan Mountain wasn't strong enough. It was just that the situation this time was beyond everyone's expectations. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow understood the reason behind it. All right, go back and accompany your family for a while. Then, go to the 100 Clan Alliance Conference. Remember, stand up straight. No matter what, you're not inferior to anyone. You're also not inferior to anyone in terms of background. Don't worry about this and do it boldly, said King Yawu to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Uncle Master. I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that King Yawu was worried that he would feel that he was of low birth and that he was inferior to others. If he didn't speak up, he wouldn't have the confidence to do things. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao went down the mountain. Uncle Master is worried that you don't have the confidence. What are you afraid of? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. Night Sorrow didn't say anything because Lin Piaomiao was right. He would do what he thought was right. He would never be afraid because of his background. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao first went to the ethereal imperial city to stay for a day before returning to the 9-domain world. Apart from accompanying his family, Night Sorrow cultivated his spear skills. The number 1 vanguard of the 100-clan alliance wasn't a battle between individuals. It was a battle between clans and destiny. He had to work hard. Besides, he also hoped to see his brothers and sisters at the 100-clan alliance conference. The heavenly desolate city gradually became lively because the leaders of the various clans had arrived with the young talents of their clans. Why was the human clan the leader of the 100-clan alliance? Because the human clan was currently the strongest. Not only did they have 2 almighties, but they were also outstanding among the younger generation. The number 1 commander was from the human clan and the number 1 vanguard was also from the human clan. This gave the human clan the absolute right to speak. Chi Rui came with his 2 daughters. The Blood Qilin clan wasn't here to participate in the competition. They were here to observe the conference and also to cheer for Night Sorrow. Clan leader Chi Rui, you haven't shown up for so many conferences in the past. Why are you here this time? Are your clansmen participating? An old man came to Chi Rui's residence in the VIP building. I'm no longer the clan leader of the Blood Qilin clan. I'm not here to let my clansmen compete for the number 1 vanguard and the number 1 commander. I'm here to cheer for a little guy. This is what I, Chi Rui, have agreed to, Chi Rui said. Chapter 1837. Clan leader Lingxi, there's no need to be shocked. Something just happened and I made a different choice, Chi Rui said. Sigh. The gray-robed elder with a single horn sighed. He knew that something must have happened to the Blood Qilin clan. Otherwise, Chi Rui would not have made such a choice. After chatting for a while, Chi Rui told clan leader Lingxi about what happened a few days ago. Damn it, the black dragons are going to turn the world upside down. We have to contain and attack them. Otherwise, things like this will continue. We don't know how many times it will happen. They are too unscrupulous now, clan leader Lingxi said angrily. After the 100 Race Alliance conference ends, I will settle the score with them, Chi Rui said. His mentality was different from before. In the past, Chi Rui had a peaceful aura. Everything was for peace. After giving up on merit, he wanted to stop killing with killing. At that moment, on an island, a middle-aged man in a golden robe stood with his hands behind his back. He looked up at the sky. A golden dragon was flying in the sky. Golden energy claws slapped the ground. A moment later, the golden dragon turned into a young man. This dragon traversing 9 heavens is a little too difficult, the young man said. Idiot, there is no one in the Golden Dragon clan who can't use the dragon traversing 9 heavens after cultivating to the Imperial Emperor realm. Why is it so difficult for you? The golden-robed middle-aged man said. I'll update K Nuyu most plus fast on 6N. I don't want to learn it, the young man said softly. There is still a month in the outside world before the 100 Race Alliance conference. This time, the Golden Dragon clan will be participating. Time here is accelerated 100 times. In other words, you have 8 years. If you can't master the dragon traversing 9 heavens in 8 years, don't expect to leave. Just stay here and calm down, the golden-robed middle-aged man said. Uncle, I have already received the inheritance and cultivated to the Imperial Emperor realm. I feel very good. Let your son or daughter go to the 100 Race Alliance conference. The young man said. This young man was none other than Long Jin, who had been taken away by the Golden Dragon King. Pa! The golden-robed man flashed and slapped the back of Long Jin's head, causing Long Jin to stagger. You know that this is the pain in this king's heart, yet you still dare to pour salt on the wound? Your parents ran away, your cousins ran away. This king couldn't be bothered to catch them. Now he's using you as a scapegoat. You have to do it whether you want to or not. Because this king has decided to enforce the family law, starting with you. Why me? In the past, I lived well. I had brothers, wine to drink, and fights to fight. Uncle, why didn't you go and catch others? Why did you catch me? Long Jean was unconvinced. Does this king need you to teach him how to do things? Just 8 years. If you can master the dragon traversing 9 heavens in 8 years, then nothing will happen. If you want to go out and play, then go out and play. If you can't, you know what I mean. I'll lock you up for a few million first, and then we'll talk about it later. This king probably won't care about you, because other than the two of us, the rest of the Golden Dragon clan are living very freely. The golden-robed middle-aged man flashed and disappeared. This is an unlucky guy. He's going to be the scapegoat. Long Jean understood. Now, the Golden Dragon clan was being carried by the Golden Dragon King himself. The other members had all run away. The Golden Dragon King had caught him to be the scapegoat. But another slap came out of nowhere, causing Long Jean to stumble back a few steps. You're right. You're the scapegoat. But no one dares to say that this king is an unlucky guy. People had to lower their heads under someone else's roof. Long Jean felt that it was better to master the dragon traversing 9 heavens first. When he could go out, he would be a dragon swimming in the sea. In fact, Long Jean wasn't the only unlucky guy. Tianyu was also living in an abyss of suffering. They were all seedlings that the clan had high hopes for. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been thrown into the 9-domain world. They were brought back to the clan and naturally received the most rigorous training. Other than that, the Green Rock clan was also having a headache because the Xianluan clan would come and cause trouble for them. Tianyu's memory was partially correct. He was the child of the Green Rock clan's prince and Xianluan clan's princess. His parents had already disappeared and eloped. It was his great ancestor, Old Ancestor Green Rock, who brought him back. The Green Rock clan and Xianluan clan had a good relationship. Now that there was a conflict, they couldn't really kill each other. Everyone wanted a child with the bloodline of the Green Rock clan and Xianluan clan. If the Xianluan clan wanted someone, the Green Rock clan naturally wouldn't give it to them. Tianyu was strictly taught a lesson. He cultivated according to Old Ancestor Green Rock's plan. But in terms of living, he was the little ancestor of the Green Rock clan, the Crown Prince. Tianyu was angry that he was snatched back. Outside of cultivation, he scolded whoever he caught. Those who were scolded couldn't make a sound, even if their seniority was higher. This was because Old Ancestor Green Rock liked Tianyu too much. Those who were scolded or had shoes thrown at them would be scolded a second time if they dared to complain to Old Ancestor Green Rock. In Old Ancestor Green Rock's words, why didn't he scold others? If he scolded you, it was either because you were ugly or because you did things that others disliked. There was no reason to speak of. Tianyu, who had awakened his bloodline talent in the clan, was already an early-stage sovereign emperor. His battle strength had also increased by leaps and bounds. He had also cultivated many of the Green Rock clan's ultimate techniques. Old Ancestor Green Rock had said that as long as they didn't kill anyone, they didn't have to care about anything else. It didn't matter if they tore down houses or even set them on fire. Now that he was in the Green Rock clan, he had to let them vent and balance out their emotions. At the same time, he asked the Green Rock clan leader, who was the current Green Rock king and Tianyu's grandfather, to take Tianyu to lie low. The choice to lie low was to go to the 100 Races Alliance conference. If you find it boring, let's go out for a walk. Let's go to the 100 Races Alliance conference. You can also participate. Although you have just become a sovereign emperor, peak sovereign emperors might not be able to defeat you, the Green Rock clan leader said to Tianyu. The other opponents are fine. But if my 13th brother participates, even if he hasn't become a sovereign emperor, I definitely won't be able to defeat him, Tianyu said. Your 13th brother? The Green Rock clan leader was stunned. It's the Night Sorrow who has always nurtured me and supported me. He's my 13th brother, Tianyu said. Night Sorrow, this young man is now famous. He's a mighty lord of the human race and the leader of the Humanitarian League. He single-handedly defeated 5 sovereign emperors of the Demon-Winged clan. It's just that his cultivation is a little low. If he were a 6-star emperor and a peak sovereign emperor, he would be the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance. However, the human race's talent is still a little lacking. They can't be compared to the Divine Beast clan, said the Green Rock clan leader. Don't look at my 13th brother like an ordinary person. You'll be slapped in the face. As for the competition for the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance, my 13th brother will definitely participate. That's good too. When the time comes, I'll test the gap between us. Even if there's a gap, I believe it shouldn't be a problem for us to fight side by side, Tianyu said. His motivation for cultivation was to fight side by side with Night Sorrow. Chapter 1838. Then let's set off. I wonder how Long Jin is doing and if we can meet this time, Tianyu muttered. The members of the God-slaying team had a very good relationship. Who is Long Jin? The Green Rock clan leader asked. Grandfather, you might not know, but there are a few people in our team who are in the same situation as me. Long Jin has the bloodline of dragons. He was taken away before me. There's also Yi Mei, who is very close to me. She has the bloodline of a nine-tailed fox. Someone will probably take her away. 13th brother won't stop us. He cares about us and won't stand in our way. The premise is that we're willing, Tianyu said. After you go, introduce him to me. Your 13th brother is the virtuous emperor of the human race. Give him time and his future is limitless. Our Green Rock clan took you back without informing you. That's also our fault, the Green Rock clan leader said. Night Sorrow worked hard to cultivate his spear techniques every day. He wanted to form memories of his spear techniques and cultivate them into instincts. As long as he attacked, it would be a spear technique with soul and intent. After cultivating his spear techniques for a while, Night Sorrow went to the side of the training ground. His wives were there. I still lack time. If I have time to cultivate the death attribute and improve my domain, I'll be more confident. Night Sorrow drank a mouthful of water. Give others a chance. If you form a domain with 2 supreme attributes and 3 advanced attributes, how can the other imperial emperors fight you? They'll be suppressed by your domain, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. That's true. I have to give others a chance. However, I must get the opportunity to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower. Opportunities don't come around all the time. If there's an opportunity, I have to grab it, Night Sorrow said. Lin Piaomiao and the others nodded. They naturally understood this. The 100 Races Alliance Conference was only held once in a long time. Sometimes, it would be 2 billion years. The shortest time was 1 billion years. In other words, such an opportunity only came once in 1 billion years. Night Sorrow wasn't in a hurry. The great Demon King had said that when the time was right, he would come to the Ethereal Dynasty's Night Moon Villa to look for him. Datura's clone was there, so he would be the first to know if there was any news. While practicing his spear arts, Night Sorrow also fully practiced his movement techniques and soul attacks. He wanted his combat standards to catch up with his current realm. After a month, Night Sorrow had raised his combat level to the same level as his cultivation realm. In addition, he had also cultivated a crescent blade of the soul extinguishing slash. In other words, his main body or his clone could use 3 crescent blades of the soul extinguishing slash. As for spatial rend, Night Sorrow had also strengthened it. With the help of the time attribute, spatial rend's cutting ability had become even more tyrannical. The celestial realm's spatial barrier was tough. It was unrealistic to completely cut through it. However, the power of space and time attributes' cutting ability was shocking. In addition, it had the effect of blocking and sealing. If the opponent's main body and avatar were to fight together, his spatial rend could cut through and block them. Then, the main body and avatar would attack one of them with all their strength. It would be much easier to win. A sword's edge has to be honed. Everyone knows that Night Sorrow's ability to fight above his level is very strong. However, who has seen Night Sorrow's hard work? Lin Piaomiao lamented. This was because Night Sorrow was the most hard-working cultivator she had ever seen. He's not tired. He doesn't seem tired at all, Oi said. A normal cultivator would be frustrated and tired of cultivating like this. There's nothing to be tired of. Cultivation has its own fun, Night Sorrow said as he sat down after finishing his cultivation. I'm impressed, Yang Lei muttered. The area of the Sky City's lake has expanded a lot. Our small pleasure boat can't keep up with the pace. Find someone to build a large one. In the future, our whole family can go to the lake to enjoy the scenery, Night Sorrow said. That's fine. Godfather, bring a few craftsmen to do it, Father Goose said after trimming the flowers with a pair of large scissors. Sure. Let's see how creative you are, Father, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Life at home was the most comfortable. There was nothing to worry about. However, there were still some roads that needed to be explored. After staying for a month, Night Sorrow had to leave. Originally, Night Sorrow wanted to bring his wives and children to broaden their horizons. However, considering that there would be a lot of people going to the Sky City this time, it would be very chaotic. His family would have to bear some unnecessary risks. Therefore, he decided not to bring them. Father, little Luo, big brother, and big sister have seen the memory crystal ball of you killing the 5 demon-winged emperors. That battle allowed us to see another side of you, Father. We realized that we didn't understand you at all. In front of us, you were always the most benevolent side. Some hardships, some tribulations, we have to bear slowly. We don't have the strength to participate in your world at the moment. However, we want to understand. Please bring back the memory crystal ball of the battle. Yi Xiaoluo bowed to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow reached out to help his son up. My world has nothing to do with you. Don't think too much. Father's greatest wish is for you to grow up happily. Auntie will bring it back for you to see your father's glory, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Thank you, Auntie Piaomiao. Yi Xiaoluo and the rest bowed to Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left. He didn't have to worry about the family as they had enough resources. As for the Star Moon Lake and the Yi family's business in the celestial realm, Datura would take care of it. However, Datura only took care of some important matters and spent most of her time cultivating. Datura had her cultivation advantage. Her original body was a Datura flower created by the Heaven and Earth Bell Spirit Chi. Her original body was the main stem of the flower while her clone was the branches. Her clone had the abilities of her original body. Her original body could comprehend the heaven and earth will, so could her clone. This was her unique talent. Her cultivation speed was twice as fast as others. Back then, she told Night Sorrow that as long as Night Sorrow could do it, it would be equivalent to having 2 wives. However, Night Sorrow didn't do so. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao first went to take a look at the territory of their respective factions before heading to the Night Moon Villa in Divine Capital. The Great Demon King, Pu Luo, Ruiz, and Yu Zhu were all there. The few of them sat around a table of food and drinks. You guys are invincible too. Don't you look like emperors at all? Night Sorrow asked. Look at Section E, Section Z, Part 1 inch. So what if we look like this? We are the Humanitarian League. What if we become emperors in the future? You still dare to say that we don't want to come back after returning to the Land of Warmth? There are still 3 days until the 100 Race Alliance Conference, Pu Luo said to Night Sorrow. Really, the Land of Warmth almost became a hero's grave, Yu Zhu said to Night Sorrow. That won't happen. Where's my senior brother? Night Sorrow asked. He's the commander of Divine Capital. There's a huge commotion in Divine Capital this time, so he brought his men to Heavenly Desolate City first. Pu Luo explained the situation to Night Sorrow. Chapter 1839. No, we can set up the table anytime, and we have a clear division of labor. Yu Zhu and Ruisi are in charge of the dishes. Pu Luo and I are in charge of the wine. If you need it, just shout and the table will be set up immediately, the Demon King stood up and said. Night Sorrow glanced at them and walked toward the teleportation portal without saying anything. He knew that these people from the Humanitarian League were invincible, not only in terms of combat power, but also in every aspect. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation. Taking the teleportation portal, they arrived at Night Sorrow's villa. In the Heavenly Desolate City, Yishang's courtyard was the worst among them. Because the others were all elders of the human race and had high status in the Heavenly Desolate City, Yishang was the only one who was a small fry. It was already good enough that he had a place to stay, and this was under special treatment. However, the Demon King and the others liked to hang out at Night Sorrow's place. The more people there were, the more lively it was. They all got along well. Pu Luo, our humanitarian league is a top force now. Don't you think it's too shabby for our leader to live in such a villa? You're the elder of the law enforcement clan. Can't you play with your privileges and arrange a better place? The Demon King said. Why not? I can do this. I've always felt that it wasn't necessary because if Yishang became the first vanguard, the elders would definitely arrange a good place for Yishang. If it wasn't good, we wouldn't want it. Night Sorrow, when they arrange a place for you, don't reject them directly if you don't like it. Just tell them that it's far worse than your place in Divine Capital and Ethereal Imperial City. You can go back to Divine Capital and see how they arrange it, Pu Luo said after thinking for a while. That's too bad. The elders of the elders are all very prideful. If the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance doesn't want to live in Tianhuang City, where will they put their faces? Pu Luo, you can do that. This is a slap to your own face, Yu Zhu said with a smile. It doesn't matter. I never care about this. What's the point of competing with them? Humanitarian League. We need the Humanitarian League's face now. Pu Luo took a sip of tea and looked at Yu Zhu as if she didn't understand him at all. Deal. We'll do as you say, Pu Luo. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood now. Pu Luo, who looked very honest and sunny, was also full of evil tricks. Pu Luo, you really are a bastard. At this time, Lu Qi appeared in the hall of the courtyard. Seventh Elder is here, please take a seat. Night Sorrow pulled out a chair. He and the others were very surprised. They did not expect Lu Qi to come. Seventh Patriarch, I, Pu Luo, respect you, but don't talk nonsense. Who isn't a good person? Pu Luo slapped the table and said, Fine, I'll take it that I was wrong. You were able to scheme against a group of us elders. That's your ability. You're a thing. Lu Qi sat down. Pu Luo pointed at Lu Qi, but he didn't say anything because he couldn't refute. Was everything wrong? Seventh Clan Elder, what's the matter? Lin Piaomiao asked. She was now the successor of the Law Enforcement Clan Elder. She was supposed to follow Lu Qi to handle the matters of the Clan Elder Council. Their relationship was also the most harmonious. It's just a small matter. Night Sorrow wants to participate in the competition for the 100 Races Alliance's first vanguard. But have you arranged for him to be recommended? Pu Luo, are you blaming me for scolding you? Don't you know that the competitors for the 100 Races Alliance's first vanguard and first commander need the recommendation of the Clan Elder Council? Which one of you arranged this? Lu Qi glared at Pu Luo and the others. Pu Luo glared at Lu Qi. He opened his mouth but could not say anything because Lu Qi blocked his way. He felt that Night Sorrow was requested by the Grand Elder to participate in this 100 Races Alliance conference, so he did not need to worry about it. Therefore, he did not think about it. Just wait to be scolded. The Grand Elder wanted Night Sorrow to represent Tianhuang City, but what happened? No one arranged it, and in the end, he needed the City Lord's recommendation. Do you understand what this means? Lu Qi took out a letter with the words God's Capital written on it. I'm going to faint. What's going on? Yu Zhu said in surprise. Not only her, but the others were also stunned. Yes, that's the situation. The City Lord of the Godly Capital, King Yawu's recommendation. Who can go against this? No one in the Heavenly Desolate City will do that. So, this matter is settled. Just wait and see if you will be scolded or not. Lu Qi pushed the letter in front of Yishang. Brother, we've known each other for a long time. How many years has it been? Can't you remind us about this? You want us to jump into a trap? Pu Luo's eyes were about to burst into flames. He did not want to be scolded for no reason. Tell you? Not only do I have a status in Tianhuang City, but I'm also the law-enforcing elder of God's capital. What do you want me to say? The main point is that you've been too arrogant recently. You've been tricking people. Now I'll let you have a try. I think it's not bad. Lu Qi stood up, nodded at Night Sorrow, and left. When he walked out of the hall, he turned back and smiled meaningfully at Pu Luo. He was so happy that he did not even call himself this lord anymore. He's been tricked. This is a big trap. Why does he look like he has a deep grudge against us? I get it. He can't bear to see us having a good time. He's envious and jealous. That's right, he's envious and jealous. Pu Luo took out his golden brick and threw it at Lu Qi's disappearing figure, but it did not fly out. Pu Luo, we're your followers. You do as you see fit. Yu Zhu, didn't you say you needed my help with something? I have time now. Let's go. Rui looked at Yu Zhu and said, I need your help? Are you kidding me? That's true. Let's go. Yu Zhu, who was glaring at Rui, changed her words when she saw Rui winking at her. The two of them left immediately. Animals. You two have no loyalty and no humanity. Pu Luo scolded and looked at the great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao. Don't look at us. Your Demon King and Grandmaster Lin are new Grandmasters. We don't know the rules at all. Don't you agree, Grandmaster Lin? The big Demon King looked at Lin Piaomiao and raised his chin. Elder Lin, don't say anything. Leave some light in my heart. Let me feel that the world is still beautiful. I'll take responsibility for this. But I have to say, Great Demon King, you're really something. The golden brick that Pu Luo was about to throw at Lu Qi flew into the Great Demon King's arms. Pu Luo left. He had to talk to the Grand Elder about this. Really? You don't even want your food anymore. The Great Demon King looked at the golden brick in his arms and said, Give it to me. Pu Luo came back with his golden brick and left again. Great Demon King, isn't this a little unkind? Lin Piaomiao felt bad. We're all joking. Do you know who the Grand Elder is? The interests of the human race are paramount. Why would we blame him? We're just playing around. Pu Luo knows that better than anyone. The Great Demon King said, If he's angry, his eyebrows will stand up. If he doesn't, then we can play around. Rui and Yu Zhu came back. Chapter 1840. Night Sorrow quickened his pace and exited the courtyard. Outside the courtyard stood an old man and a young man. Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with joy when he saw the young man. He waved his right arm. The young man stepped forward and hugged Night Sorrow. 13th brother, I've missed you so much these past few years. The young man was none other than Tianyu, who had fought alongside Night Sorrow in the beginning. The one who followed Tianyu was naturally the Green Rock clan leader. He was also the one who had pressured the Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao. Tianyu, how have you been these past few years? Let's talk inside. Night Sorrow patted Tianyu's shoulder. My grandfather, Green Rock clan leader Song Tian. Tianyu introduced him. Night Sorrow cupped his hands in greeting, then introduced the Great Demon King, Lin Piaomiao, and the others behind him. Night Sorrow, other than accompanying Tianyu, I've also come to apologize to you. Last time, we took Tianyu away without informing you. It was our fault. The Green Rock clan thanks you for taking care of Tianyu all these years. In the future, Night Sorrow, if you have any requests, the Green Rock clan will definitely help. Song Tian cupped his hands towards Night Sorrow. KV New Fastest News clan leader, you're too polite. Tianyu is my brother. We've fought side by side, weathered storms together. We've been through life and death together. You can't say we took care of him, but as long as it's something that benefits Tianyu, I can't wait to approve. I won't stop you. Night Sorrow said. It's mainly because we were too excited at the time. That's why the clan's patriarch took him away first. We've underestimated your magnanimity. Song Tian said. Monarch cultivation? It seems you've worked hard these past few years. Night Sorrow patted Tianyu's shoulder again. Don't stand outside. Night Sorrow, please come in and have a seat. Lin Piaomiao said. Once they were seated in the courtyard, Song Skycloud repeatedly expressed his apologies, but Nightfall didn't seem to mind. Tianyu, you're going to participate in the 100 Races Alliance, right? When the time comes, we'll be able to spar. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Naturally, I'm no match for Brother 13. However, the others will try to trample as many of them as they can, Tianyu said. Tianyu, just do your best. The patriarch said that we're only bringing you out for a walk. As for the matter of taking the number 1 vanguard and number 1 commander, the clan's council of elders will be responsible for that. Night Sorrow, you have to be careful. The Azure Rock clan has another official participating team. Celestial Cliffs? Tianyu looked at Song Tian. Song Tian nodded. The Green Rock clan had another team this time, led by his elder brother, Elder Tian Yunhai. 13th brother, I can't do anything to Celestial Cliffs. Help me take care of him. Tianyu's expression turned ugly. Tianyu, what's going on? Song Tian looked at Tianyu. Grandfather, I just returned to the clan. During the clan meeting, he went to my residence and beat me up. That's fine, I can tolerate it. But I can't tolerate him calling me a bastard, Tianyu said in a low voice. Crack. Song Tian clenched his right hand, and the space in his palm cracked with a muffled sound. Good. Very good. No matter who it is, they can't bully my brother. 13th brother will get justice for you. We've been relying on each other since we were 14. Your glory is my glory, Night Sorrow's glory. Your humiliation is my humiliation. If he dares insult you, I'll pull out his teeth. I'm sorry, Green Rock clan leader, but Night Sorrow has to take care of this. Night Sorrow looked angry. This is a family matter, but you're Er's brother. I won't stop you. You remember this. In the Green Rock clan, I'm the clan leader. Your father ran away, so you're the junior clan leader. The others are just there to play with. If there's anything you want to do, tell me. I'll go raid their homes. I understand. Tianyu nodded. I'm sorry. I took away from you and made him suffer. Song Tian's face was full of regret. He couldn't explain it to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow shook his head. From Song Tian's words, he knew that Song Tian didn't know about this. He also valued Tianyu very much. After chatting for a while, Song Tian left with Tianyu. He was very happy because he knew that even without the Green Rock clan, Tianyu wouldn't suffer any grievances because he had Night Sorrow as his brother. Contact a few more people. If we meet Heaven's Horizon, we'll teach them a lesson. There aren't many people who can defeat a peak sovereign emperor from the Green Rock clan. I'll do it. Night Sorrow shook his head. Night Sorrow didn't want others to do it. It's not a big deal. No one from the Blood Qilin clan is participating. However, a junior from the Fire Qilin clan is participating. I'll go and greet him. Chirue brought Lin Yun and Lin Yu into the courtyard. Senior is here. Please take a seat. Night Sorrow quickly stood up and greeted him. How familiar, said a young girl standing beside Lin Yun. She looked a little young, but she had a face that could captivate all living things. Lin Yu, he's Night Sorrow. He's the one who woke up your savior. Chirue said. Lin Yu, thank you for saving my life. Can I call you brother? Lin Yu blinked her beautiful eyes and looked at Night Sorrow. That's not possible. Little princess, you have a noble status. Night Sorrow doesn't dare. Night Sorrow quickly cupped his hands and refused. It's okay. You're the only virtuous emperor in this reincarnation. Our Blood Qilin clan can't compare to you. Noble. No one can say the word noble in front of you. Chirue said. Lin Yu greets brother. Seeing that her father didn't object, Lin Yu bowed slightly and cupped her hands. Good. From today onwards, you're Night Sorrow's sister. Night Sorrow reached out and helped Lin Yu up. Lin Yu, if anyone bullies you in the future, you'll have a helper. Night Sorrow, you'll have to call me Sister Yun. Lin Yun said with a smile. Night Sorrow smiled and cupped his hands at Lin Yun as a greeting. The 100 Races Alliance Conference is coming soon. In the past, I didn't come, but I know that it's never this lively. I don't know why, but this time, many races are here, so you're under a lot of pressure. You're the virtuous emperor and the Blood Qilin clan is the virtuous Divine Beast clan, so I hope you can be the first vanguard. I'm here to cheer you on. The Blood Qilin clan is also your backing. Chirue said. Thank you, Lord Patria. Night Sorrow was shocked because Chirue's words were very serious. Qin Rei left with his daughters. Night Sorrow and the others sat down. Night Sorrow, you're getting stronger and stronger. King Yawu of the Divine Capital can shake the celestial realm with a stomp of his foot. The Blood Qilin clan is also a huge force. You're good. Great Demon King gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. Chapter 1841. That's the difference. Great Demon King, your resolve isn't enough. Being your backer is a great ambition, Yu Zhu said with a smile. At that moment, Pu Luo returned. He looked at the Great Demon King with fire in his eyes as he tossed the gold brick in his hand. What do you mean? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. Initial, hair. It's nothing. The Grand Elder said that it doesn't matter where we represent. We're all humans anyway, Pu Luo said as he kept the gold brick and sat down. While they were talking, Fen Tian arrived with 2 jars of wine. Then, Fen Tian said that the arrangements for the Divine Capital's participation in the 100 Clan Alliance Conference were almost done. Elder Yan Qi and Great Guardian Shi Yan would be leading the team. Night Sorrow would be the participant this time. His current identity was the young city lord of the Divine Capital. Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment because he had never thought about this. I know you don't care, but Master said that he doesn't care about this in the Divine Capital. However, this time, in front of others and the 100 Clan Alliance, the Divine Capital has to fight. No one can use their identity and status to suppress the unparalleled Sword Sovereign's disciple, Fen Tian said. Then I'll listen to Master's arrangements. Night Sorrow nodded. Also, Master said that the few of us, regardless of our identity and status in other forces, will sit in the Humanitarian League's seats as secondary representatives. The Divine Capital has arrangements for the Humanitarian League's seats. If not, then the Humanitarian League can't stay in the Divine Capital anymore. Fen Tian threw out another topic. It was a trap. Pu Luo was the law-enforcing elder of the 100 Clan Elder Association in the Infinite Desolation City. It would be unreasonable if he didn't sit in the Infinite Desolation City seats. The Great Demon King and Lin Piamiao were also stunned. They couldn't explain it to the Grand Elder and Lu Qi. It's nothing. King Youwu, the city lord, and I have discussed this before. The Humanitarian League is a banner of the human race. We'll use this 100 Clan Alliance Conference to raise this banner. The City Lord also agrees. The Grand Elder, who was holding the coiling dragon spear, appeared in the courtyard. Fortunately, King Youwu and Grand Elder have talked to each other before. Otherwise, we would have been in a lot of trouble, Pu Luo said while wiping his forehead. The Grand Elder sat down. You guys still have limitations. You have to know that both the Divine Capital and the Heavenly Desolate City are the lifelines of the human race. You have to rise together. The City Master and King Youwu have a common understanding. Misty won't participate in the battle for the position of the first commander. Great Demon King, if you dare to fail, I won't forgive you. I won't miss. Even if I do, I'll kill my opponent. The Great Demon King stood up and made a promise. Can't you save me some trouble? This was the Alliance Conference, not the arena of life and death. Once the opponent admitted defeat, they couldn't attack again. What's more, there are several powerful figures among the judges. How can you kill them in front of them? The Grand Elder glared at the Great Demon King. Which powerful figures will be the judges? Pu Luo asked. Bloodscale Clan's Supreme Chirue, Golden Dragon King Long Badian, Green Rock Clan's Patriarch Tian Yunsong, myself and King Youwu of the Divine Capital. Currently, there are 5 judges, the Grand Elder said. This is how the 100 Race Alliance Conference should be. The small fights in the past were meaningless. Alliance Master, it seems like we have to make a big splash this time. However, in the arena, everyone has their own unique skills. They're all killer moves. Won't it be easy to kill them? After saying that, the Great Demon King looked at the Grand Elder. If both sides are injured, no one will stop them. If there's a possibility of mutual destruction or one side being killed, the judges will step in to stop them. The outcome will be determined based on the situation. Basically, there won't be any deaths. The Grand Elder explained the rules. Night Sorrow listened while thinking. If the Golden Dragon King was here, then Long Jin might be here as well. After the Grand Elder finished talking about business, Night Sorrow asked if the Golden Dragon King had brought a few clansmen and if the Nine-Tailed Fox clan and the Ice Phoenix clan had come. The Golden Dragon King brought a young man. When I went to visit, he was still guiding the young man's cultivation. As for the Nine-Tailed Fox clan, a messenger has already arrived. Their people will be here as well. The Ice Phoenix clan didn't come. Instead, they sent invitations to the other clans. 1 year later, their new queen will ascend the throne, the Grand Elder said. While the Grand Elder was talking, Lu Qi came with a woman. This is Night Sorrow. Lu Qi pointed at Night Sorrow and said to the woman, "On the princess's orders, I'm here to deliver an invitation and this crystal ball to Lord Night." The white-clothed woman held a golden invitation and a crystal ball in both hands. She handed them to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took them with both hands. When Night Sorrow's hand touched the crystal ball, an image appeared in the crystal ball. Night Sorrow, Aunt Faye is doing well in the Ice Phoenix clan. She's currently cultivating, so she won't be able to see you. Aunt Faye will ascend the throne in the coming year. If you want to come, bring your family. Aunt Faye misses you. Inside the crystal ball was Wu Lingfei's image. Aunt Faye, please tell the princess that Night Sorrow will definitely bring his family. Night Sorrow bowed to the messenger. Lu Qi left with the messenger. Night Sorrow took a deep breath and put the invitation and crystal ball into his storage ring. Although the batch of seedlings sent to the 9 regions world didn't meet the expectations of the major clans, they all rose up. "This is what everyone wants to see," the Grand Elder said. "Since they all rose up, I can't fall behind. Let's see how the 100 Races Alliance Conference plays out." Night Sorrow took a deep breath. After sending the Grand Elder off, Night Sorrow sat down. He felt at ease because the people he cared about were doing well. Lin Piaomiao took out a neatly folded battle suit and pushed it in front of Night Sorrow. After taking a look, Night Sorrow stood up. He recognized it. It was something from the depths of his memory. It was the king battle suit of the Night Moon dynasty. It was the battle suit that the men of Night Moon wore when they fought. This robe was made by Chu Yu, Aoi, Yang Lei, Xue Shi, and Aluo. Everyone has a copy. Mother said that when the men of Night Moon conquer the world, they will definitely wear the king battle suit, Lin Piaomiao said. Yes, no matter where I represent, I am from Night Moon. One day, the people of the celestial realm will know about the Night Moon dynasty. Night Sorrow reached out and touched the king battle suit. The king battle suit was the belief of the people of Night Moon. When the men of Night Moon wore the king battle suit, they could conquer the world. Come, I'm suddenly looking forward to it. Perhaps I have an unstable element in my bones. The more there is a big battle, the more excited I am. Night Sorrow put away the king battle suit. Chapter 1842. Okay, no problem. I have enough gold bricks to fight them. The great demon king nodded. There were still 2 days left. Night Sorrow entered the Clear Sky Pagoda to refine the reincarnation spear and upgrade the array within the spear. Heavenly Axiom artifacts and Origin artifacts did not have a fixed grade. It mainly depended on the strength of the user. A Sage King could only unleash the power of a Sage artifact. A king's cultivation level could unleash the power of a king artifact. An emperor's artifact would be an emperor artifact. Night Sorrow strengthened the array to make the reincarnation spear harder and more powerful. This only took a few days, which was 4 hours in real life. It did not delay matters at all. After pondering for a while, Night Sorrow felt that he should pay a visit to the Golden Dragon King's VIP building to see if Long Jin had come. At this moment, Long Jin was still cultivating in the VIP building. He was cultivating a set of saber techniques. Long Jin loved sabers and also cultivated saber techniques. When the Golden Dragon King asked him to cultivate sword techniques, he refused no matter what. If he did not allow him to cultivate saber techniques, he would not cultivate. The Golden Dragon King had no choice but to let him be. However, the Golden Dragon King discovered that Long Jin was very talented in saber techniques. He would have a better future if he cultivated saber techniques. Therefore, he imparted a set of saber techniques from the clan to Long Jin. "Uncle, are you sure I'm your nephew?" Long Jin asked as he cultivated his saber techniques. Nonsense. If you weren't, would I let you enter the clan grounds to receive the inheritance? The Golden Dragon King said as he drank tea. Then I followed your arrangements and cultivated the dragon traversing 9 heavens in 8 years. Back then, you said that as long as I cultivated it, you would give me freedom. Why can't I go see a friend now? After Long Jin slashed with his saber, he sheathed his saber and looked at the Golden Dragon King. Forever free of charge, 5 novels/KB, the day after tomorrow is the day of the 100 Race Alliance Conference. What if you can't make it in time? I'm the referee for this competition. If no one from the Golden Dragon clan participates when I sit there as the referee, where will I put my face? After the 100 Species Alliance convention is over, you can go and find her if you want. I'll give you a year of freedom. More than a year, half a year at most. The Golden Dragon King dispelled the enchantment. Long Jin had been cultivating his saber techniques in the enchantment. Captain. As soon as the Golden Dragon King withdrew the barrier, Long Jin discovered Night Sorrow standing outside the VIP building. He immediately flashed outside the VIP building. Long Jin, you really came. Seeing Long Jin, Night Sorrow was surprised. He wanted to see Long Jin, but he didn't have much hope. Long Jin stretched out his arm, and so did Yi Shang. Their fists bumped into each other a few times, and then they shook hands. I'm relieved to see that you're doing well. I just met Tianyu. He's also an imperial emperor like you, said Night Sorrow. Let me introduce you. This is my uncle. Although he's my biological uncle, he treats me like a prisoner, said Long Jin as he looked at the Golden Dragon King who had walked out of the VIP building. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at the Golden Dragon King. The Golden Dragon King nodded at Night Sorrow and returned to the VIP building after saying a few words. What he meant was that he was going to pick someone up, but there was nothing wrong with not greeting him. In this world, the stronger one was the absolute truth. Night Sorrow didn't refute. Strength was the truth. Most of the time it made sense. After chatting with Long Jin for a while, Night Sorrow returned to his courtyard. The Golden Dragon King's words were very domineering and even a little hurtful. However, Night Sorrow wasn't angry. He only had the motivation to rise. On the first night of the 100 Race Alliance Conference, Night Sorrow saw Yi Mei. Yi Mei was a 3-star emperor. She was slightly weaker than Tianyu and Long Jin. She hadn't reached the Imperial Emperor realm. After knowing Yi Mei's current achievements, Night Sorrow was very satisfied. He couldn't associate this woman in front of him with the little fox from before. Night Sorrow was very happy. Except for Lord Long Xian, there was news of the few people who were picked up. They had all achieved something. Wu Lingfei was also safe. This made Night Sorrow feel very relieved. Long Jin came while Night Sorrow and Lin Piamiao were talking. Your uncle didn't look after you today? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. No. Actually, he just wants me to achieve something quickly. These 2 days, he has been meeting guests. Sometimes, he brings me along. Other times, he doesn't care about me. I heard some news. Captain, your humanitarian league is doing well. The humanitarian gold brick is very famous. I want to join the humanitarian league. Long Jin said. Night Sorrow looked at Long Jin and smiled. He knew that it would be difficult for Long Jin to be with him. The Golden Dragon King was a huge mountain in the middle. My uncle didn't object this time. However, he said that I lacked something. So, he got me this. He said that I lacked some experience and asked me to find you. Long Jin took out a gold brick. The Great Demon King, Pu Luo Ruisi, and the others took a few steps back. They looked at Long Jin in surprise. The brick Long Jin took out was too big. It was golden and shiny. It was even bigger than the table they were drinking tea on. I am the Golden Dragon. If I fight with my true body, how can I use this small thing? Captain, help me solve it. Long Jin looked at Night Sorrow and said, Pu Luo, this is my brother. Help him. Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo and said, Pu Luo looked at Long Jin as if he was looking at a monster. After putting away the gold brick, he left. He didn't have much time. He had to enter the space acceleration treasure and carve the Tao Te Ching. A gold brick without the Tao Te Ching wasn't qualified to be called a humanitarian gold brick. They sat down and chatted. Lin Piamiao congratulated Long Jin on his rapid improvement. Long Jin sighed. He told her about the Golden Dragon Kings in humanity. This was the Golden Dragon clan's family matter. Night Sorrow was helpless. The Golden Dragon King was doing it for Long Jin's sake. However, Night Sorrow planned to talk to the Golden Dragon King after the 100 Race Alliance conference. He wanted to see if he could get Long Jin back. At this moment, on the top floor of the tallest ancient tower in Tianhuang City, two people sat facing each other. One of them was King Yewu, and the other was surrounded by energy. The situation is unstable. A storm is coming. Fortunately, Night Sorrow obtained Emo Tianji's body. This is a big blow to the Demon Wing clan, the man surrounded by energy said. With that body suppressed, the Demon Wing clan will be afraid. Have you seen the body? Can you determine Emo Tianji's level? King Yewu asked. She is at the level of the tribulation of 7 emperors. However, she has accumulated a lot. Her body is filled with Taoist rhymes. If she wasn't suppressed by Wushuang for a long time, she should have no problem breaking through to the tribulation of 9 emperors. He was the city lord of Tianhuang City. If Night Sorrow saw him, he would recognize him. He was the writer of the celestial demon list, Tran Hung. During this time, Night Sorrow was with you. How was it? Could he take down the first vanguard? It would be best if he could. Even if he couldn't, he still had to enter the tower. Tran Hung said. Chapter 1843. All the leaders of the various factions are here for the 100 Races Alliance Conference. Perhaps they want to see the strength of the human race. Since you're here, there's no need for me to show up. As the referee, you should also show your strength, said Tran Hung. King Yewu nodded and the two discussed the overall situation. The 100 Races Alliance Conference officially began. The arena in Tianhuang City was very large. In the center was a large arena. Because the Divine Beast clan was participating, the arena was very large, spanning hundreds of miles. In front of the martial arts practice field, there were 5 golden thrones. Opposite the thrones, there were several seats. There weren't many people participating, but many members of the 100 Races Alliance had come. The 100 Races Alliance Conference could see which faction was stronger and some of the developments. Before leaving, Night Sorrow put on Night Moon Dynasty's King Battle armor and followed the 7 people from the Humanitarian League to the arena. Normally speaking, a new faction wouldn't have a good seat in the 100 Races Alliance Conference. But this wasn't the case. The Humanitarian League's seat was very good. It was on the left side of God's capital and on the right side of Tianhuang City. It was close to the central area. Even the Divine Beast clan didn't have such treatment. Some elders questioned this arrangement, but the Grand Elder only said one thing. No one questioned the City Lord's decision. The City Lord wasn't just the pride of the human race, he was also the leader of the 100 Races. No one could question his decisions. Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, and the others sat down. Night Sorrow looked around and saw that only the center seat was left. Alliance leader, sit. How impressive. You're on the same level as the leaders of the other factions. If anyone dares to look down on you, just kill them, the Great Demon King said after sitting down. Night Sorrow glanced at the Great Demon King in disdain and sat down. As soon as Night Sorrow sat down, a few people ran over and sat behind Lin Piamiao and the others. It was Long Jin, Tianyu, and Yimei. Lin Yu also ran over. It's not bad that these kids are getting along so well. Song Tian smiled from his seat at the judge's table. Sky Cloud laughed heartily, but the Golden Dragon King didn't look too happy. He'd been sitting at the judge's table, and the Golden Dragon King's only seat was Long Jin. Now that he was gone, the Golden Dragon King's seat was empty. This humanitarian league is not bad. Kuri smiled. Bastard, I'll skin him when we get back. The Golden Dragon King snorted, very dissatisfied. What are you guys doing here? Night Sorrow turned around and asked Long Jin and the others. 13th brother, you are the leader of the Humanitarian League, and the God-slaying squad was formed by the captain. Naturally, the god-slaying squad belongs to the Humanitarian League. How can we not come at such a critical time? Tianyu said. That's right. Although some people's eyes are murderous, I'm not afraid. Long Jin and the Golden Dragon King looked at each other. Good. If you dare to come, then I'll accept. Lin Yu, why are you here? Elder Kirui will be angry. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Yu and asked. Father said that if I didn't live well in the past, he'll support me in whatever I want to do in the future. Lin Yu smiled. Fine, then you'll stay in the Humanitarian League. Night Sorrow turned around. Since things had come, then he'd deal with it. It wasn't a big deal. Captain, I'm going to fight for the position of Vanguard for the Golden Dragon Clan. After all, I'm from the Golden Dragon Clan, and I've never done anything for the clan. Long Jin cupped his hands and explained to Lin Piaomiao and the others. He felt that he had to make this clear, and he felt that he owed the Humanitarian League something. 13th brother, I'm in the same situation. Tianyu also spoke up. That's normal. I understand. We've never officially fought, so we're just going to use this arena to try. It won't be that easy if you want to take the position of Vanguard. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Long Jin, can you do it? Tianyu looked at Long Jin and asked. You'll know after you try. I haven't been idling around for the past few years. I've suffered so much. Long Jin smiled. Night Sorrow also smiled. He didn't feel pressured at all. Even if he lost to Long Jin or Tianyu, he would still be happy. They were all his brothers. King Yawu was the last to appear. He sat in the middle of the judges' seats. Before he came, the Golden Dragon King and the Green Rock Clan leader didn't sit in the middle. They knew very well that there would definitely be a big shot from the human clan today. If the city lord of Tianhuang City didn't come, then King Yawu would. But no matter who came, the middle seat had to be reserved. After sitting down, King Yawu cupped his hands and said a few polite words to the 4 judges. Then the conference will begin. The Grand Elder stood up and announced the official start of the 100 Race Alliance Conference. He also emphasized the significance of the conference. The 100 Race Alliance had a team in Tianhuang City. Currently, it was led by the Human Clan because the first commander, Lin Piaomiao, was from the Human Clan. So was the first Vanguard. However, after reaching the Emperor realm, she automatically stepped down. The first Vanguard would lead the strongest team. It could even be said that the position of the first Vanguard had surpassed that of a normal commander. The first commander would lead all the soldiers. This time, the 100 Race Alliance could be said to be fighting for the command of the soldiers. Of course, it was also to see which clan was the strongest. The stronger the clan, the greater the authority. This was the consensus of the alliance. After the Grand Elder explained the significance of the conference, he explained the rules of the conference. It was an elimination system. As long as one lost a match, they wouldn't have the chance to continue fighting. It was that simple. If one side admitted defeat, the other side wouldn't be allowed to kill. If they didn't admit defeat, they would fight to the death. The rewards were also mentioned. The first Vanguard and first Commander would have the qualifications to enter the Tianhuang Tower to cultivate. In addition, the second and third place of the Vanguard battle and Commander battle would also have some rewards. They would be able to refine a set of armor and weapons according to the requirements. Such rewards were very coveted because the products of Tianhuang City were all exceptional treasures. The armor and weapons were things that cultivators yearned for even in their dreams. Look at the original chapter, section R. The Vanguard battle began first. As it was of great importance, each clan sent their elites to participate. There were close to 200 participants. The battle was very cruel. There was no time to rest. As long as one was called to the stage, one had to go up. Exhaustion and injuries were their own problems. It was as iron-blooded as war. Every participant was recommended by the Patriarch and had a number plate. Night Sorrow was number 9, Long Jin was number 73, and Tianyu was number 60. There was only one arena, which meant that there would be 2 matches. After one match, there would be the next. This was also to give others a chance to observe and appreciate. There were 2 participants in the opening round. One was from the human race and the other was from the heaven-devouring tiger race. They were from the same race as Heaven Lord God Tiger and were both peak Emperor realm experts. In the end, the human race was defeated. The heaven-devouring tiger race's innate skills were too heaven-defying. The next 3 matches ended quickly because the peak Emperor realm experts from some special races were indeed powerful. It was Night Sorrow's turn for the 5th match. He was number 9 and was the first to go up the stage. Chapter 1844. Night Sorrow nodded at Puluo. He knew that the first Vanguard battle was going to be brutal. Exhaustion and injuries were all factors that could lead to failure. Finishing the battle as quickly as possible was a tactic to reduce exhaustion. If the opponent can't do it, then bring out gold bricks. The Humanitarian League's reputation will be spread at this event. Guys who eat, let everyone see what we're made of, the great Demon King shouted. If they're not virtuous enough, then kill them, Puluo added. Night Sorrow walked onto the arena and bowed to King Yowu. Then, he cupped his hands to the other 4 judges and stood at the side of the arena. As the host, Emperor Tang, called out a number, another contestant stepped onto the arena. Number 10 was a Vulture Emperor. He bowed to the judges and then turned to look at Night Sorrow. Then, he pushed his arms behind him. Energy surged around his hands, and sharp claws appeared. When the host announced the start of the battle, the Vulture Emperor's body flashed. He charged toward Night Sorrow at an incredible speed. In an instant he closed in on Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow didn't move. When the Vulture Emperor was only 200 feet away from him, energy surged from Night Sorrow's body. Then his domain rippled out in all directions. Under the impact of Night Sorrow's domain, the Vulture Emperor's body froze. His speed decreased. At that moment, Night Sorrow used the Void Step. His body flashed, and he appeared in front of the Vulture Emperor. His right hand formed a claw and grabbed at the Vulture Emperor's throat. The Vulture Emperor raised his right hand and blocked his throat. If Night Sorrow didn't stop, the Vulture Emperor's claw would pierce him. Night Sorrow's right hand didn't change direction, but light appeared on his hand. The virtuous immortal body's energy poured into his right hand. At the same time, his right hand formed a fist. This fist smashed into the Vulture Emperor's right hand. When Night Sorrow's fist landed, a cracking sound was heard. The Vulture Emperor's claw was broken. After breaking one of the monarch's claws, Night Sorrow stretched out his right hand and grabbed the monarch's right wrist. Then he exerted force and swung the monarch's body into the air. He threw the monarch over his head and onto the hard arena floor. This was the 100 race conference, so the arena couldn't be damaged. Therefore, there was an array formation, and 2. After being thrown to the ground twice and not a third time, the arch of the Vulture race prepared to counterattack. But as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw a flash of golden light. Then he lost consciousness, because the human emperor's seal landed firmly on his forehead. Yi Shang glanced at the spirit Vulture Emperor's body, which had collapsed to the ground like a noodle. He pinned the human emperor's seal to his waist and cupped his hands at the judges. Number 9 wins, announced Emperor Tang, who was in charge of hosting the conference. He stood to the left of the judges. Night Sorrow left the arena. The unconscious Vulture Emperor with a bloody bump on his head was also carried off the arena. Oh front $front hashtag, this guy's body is very strong. Are you sure he's human? Song Tian asked King Yowu. That's right. I recommended him. I'm not so old that I can't even tell the difference between humans and beasts, said King Yowu. The Humanitarian League is mighty. The league leader is domineering. Ruisi and Yu Zhu stood up and roared. The first 4 battles went quickly, but not as quickly as Night Sorrow. This time, the 2 sides only made contact once. After that, the Vulture Emperor couldn't fight back. No one can stop me on the path of cultivation, muttered Night Sorrow when he reached his seat. Then he sat down. Captain, your strength is getting more and more incomprehensible, said Long Jin. Brother 13 we met. It's a spar between brothers, said Tianyu. You can't hit my head with that thing of yours. It'll make me stupid and leave behind some residual effects. That'll be a serious problem. That guy's evil aura was very strong. He must have killed a lot of people. That's why I hit him. If he's upright, I wouldn't have used that thing, said Night Sorrow with a smile. The battles continued, but there wasn't much of a disparity in strength. After all, those who could participate in the 100 Races Alliance's first vanguard were the most outstanding emperors of their respective races. The 30th battle had Tianyu's name on it. Tianyu went on stage. Although his cultivation was 2 levels lower than his opponent's, Tianyu was fast. His opponent couldn't attack him. On the other hand, Tianyu's sharp claws and wings posed a great threat to his opponent. After an hour, Tianyu's opponent was exhausted and admitted defeat. Not bad, brother. Seeing Tianyu come down, Night Sorrow smiled and nodded. After a few more battles, it was Long Jin's turn. Long Jin didn't transform into his true form. He fought in his human form. He swung his wave blade again and again, and his blade aura became stronger and stronger. His power kept increasing. Golden Dragon King, your clansman has mastered your Golden Dragon's soaring dragon blade technique, said Song Tianyun. He hasn't been practicing it for long. Even with time acceleration, it hasn't been 3 years. This king doesn't want to show off, but this king has never seen a cultivator as talented as him. He was born for the Tao of the Blade. The Golden Dragon King's face was full of smiles. He was very satisfied with Long Jin's technique. Soaring Dragon of the Blood Sea, / At that moment, Long Jin unleashed his 27th /. His blade was full, and he unleashed a killing blow. The Grand Elder waved his arm and a wall of energy appeared in front of Long Jin's opponent, blocking the /. If it hadn't been blocked, the battle would have ended. Then, Emperor Tang announced the end of the battle. Long Jin was victorious. He had defeated his opponent with 27 slashes. Good seedlings. The Humanitarian League is full of talent, said the Grand Elder with a smile. He's from the Golden Dragon clan, said the Golden Dragon King. He's sitting in the Humanitarian League's seat. The Grand Elder didn't refute the Golden Dragon King's words. It was as if he was talking about something else. Why does this king have such a bastard nephew? I'm going to skin him when I get back. The Golden Dragon King said angrily. Your nephew? Chirue turned his head to look at the Golden Dragon King. Yes. His parents ran away. This king only caught him and brought him back to the clan. The Golden Dragon Island currently only has the 2 of us. The Golden Dragon King nodded. This was the tragedy of heaven-defying divine beasts. They had so few clansmen. Then, someone else stepped onto the stage. When he saw who it was, Tianyu's eyes almost spat fire. It was the Green Rock clan's Celestial Cliffs. Chapter 1845. Find a chance to kill him, said the great Demon King. Heaven's Horizon was very strong. He was a peak imperial emperor. Coupled with his racial talent, he won this battle easily. Before leaving the arena, Heaven's Horizon looked at the Humanitarian League's seats with disdain in his eyes. Damn it, he's looking at us with disdain. Alliance Master, kill him when you meet him. I hate this kind of look the most, said Yuzhu. Night Sorrow didn't reply, but his heart was filled with killing intent. It wasn't just because of Tianyu, but also because of Heaven's Horizon's performance. He had crippled a human imperial emperor. Yi Shang didn't have any relationship with that human sovereign emperor. In fact, he didn't even know him. However, when he saw one of his clansmen get one of his arms ripped off by Heaven's Cliffs, beaten to the ground, and stomped on a few times, Yi Shang couldn't suppress his anger. The battle for the first vanguard continued. After 2 rounds, there were still more than 50 people left. At this time, the rules changed again. They no longer fought according to the size of their numbers. Instead, they mixed up the numbers and drew lots. This made it easy to have a cruel situation where one had to fight after the battle. Some participants also used all their unique skills. They used both their clones and their true bodies to fight. Some clones even died. Night Sorrow fought a human imperial emperor. Night Sorrow didn't use the golden brick because the other party didn't annoy him. This meant that the other party's moral character was passable. It was Night Sorrow's turn again. His opponent was the heaven-devouring tiger race's first opponent. I'm Tiger Cold. I have a clone, and so do you. We don't need to use our clones. We'll fight with our true bodies. If we win, we stay. If we lose, we'll leave, Tiger Cold said to Night Sorrow. Okay, then I'll fight with my true body. Night Sorrow nodded. Then can you not use that golden brick? It's too embarrassing to be hit by that. As long as you don't use that, regardless of the outcome, a Tiger Cold will owe you face. Tiger Cold said. He had seen the fate of the vulture race's imperial emperor. It was too miserable, so he felt a little uneasy. The Humanitarian League's gold brick of humanity punishes evil and promotes good. It is a trial for cultivators with bad conduct. There's nothing wrong with your moral integrity. Our Humanitarian League won't mess around with humanitarian gold bars. You're not bad, so I won't use it, Night Sorrow said. He had a good impression of Tiger Cold and knew that there was nothing wrong with his moral integrity. Soon after, the battle between the two of them began. Night Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and added his domain onto the reincarnation spear. The profoundness of the Ling Tian spear art was also infused into the spear. Tiger Cold's battle saber was very fierce, but he couldn't suppress Night Sorrow in terms of strength. The defense of his domain was also ineffective against Night Sorrow's spear art. Night Sorrow's compressed domain on his reincarnation spear directly tore apart Tiger Cold's domain. After fighting for a while, Night Sorrow executed the true dragon destruction art. While affecting Tiger Cold's soul, he executed the spatial crack to block Tiger Cold's dodging route. Then, the reincarnation spear shuttled forward and reached the throat of the constantly retreating Tiger Cold. Tiger Cold was not as fast as Night Sorrow when retreating head-on. Looking at the reincarnation spear at his throat, Tiger Cold smiled. I've lost. I admit defeat. Night Sorrow retreated and extended his right arm. The reincarnation spear returned to the holster on his back. This is more interesting. It can be considered a battle between men, Chirue commented on the battle. Then, it was Tianyu's turn to go on stage. Although the battle was very difficult, he still won. After Long Jin went on stage, his opponent was stronger. He transformed into his true form. The 3-kilometer-long golden dragon grabbed a huge golden brick and smashed it. His opponent could only dodge and couldn't fight back. Under such circumstances, he could only admit defeat. How embarrassing! The Golden Dragon King spat out 2 words in the face of Long Jin's performance. He has the chance to be the first vanguard. However, it depends on whether he can defeat Night Sorrow, the Green Rock race, and the elites of the Nine-Tailed Fox race. King Yawu, who had been silent all this time, said. The battle continued. Only a few people had dazzling performances. Heaven's Horizon was very powerful. After all, the Green Rock race was a divine beast with extraordinary talent. Their cultivation was top-notch among the Imperial Emperors, and their talent was top-notch. Not many opponents could withstand them. Green Rock race leader, isn't this member of your race a little too ruthless? If he doesn't train his temperament, he won't be able to go far. Chirue was somewhat dissatisfied with Heaven's Horizon's methods because he had crippled one of his opponents. Focus on the matter, not the person. Such a temperament is not suitable to be the first vanguard. If he becomes the first vanguard, he will need to be taught first, the Grand Elder said. This is my fault for not teaching him properly, Green Rock race leader Tian Yunsong said. When there were only 20 people left, Night Sorrow and Long Jin met. Captain, let's go on stage and try. Long Jin went on stage first and said to Night Sorrow with a smile. All right, let's try. Night Sorrow went on stage. Night Sorrow and Long Jin looked at each other. One had a spear on his back, while the other had a saber on his back. However, neither of them had any intention of taking out their weapons. Long Jin's body flashed, and he threw a punch at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow knew that Long Jin was one of the overlords of the Golden Dragon race. His body was powerful, but he didn't dodge. His right hand met Long Jin's punch. Bang! With a muffled sound, their fists collided. However, neither of them retreated. Their fists collided, and they both tried to push each other back. However, neither of them moved. As the energy continued to collide, the aura of the two became more and more violent. The shadow of a golden dragon appeared behind Long Jin. The shadow of the golden dragon circled around and roared angrily. Night Sorrow's body glowed with a golden light, and a vision appeared behind him. The sun, moon, mountains, and rivers appeared in the vision, and the words of the Book of Taoism flowed. Golden Dragon Totem, Book of Taoism. This is a rare fight, King Yowu said. But Night Sorrow spat out a word. Then, the golden light on his body pulsed and entered his body. He then used his strength to push Long Jin back. I lost, but I still want to test the captain's strength. Roaming Dragon. Long Jin retreated and then soared into the air. Totemic power merged into his body and he pounced. His right hand turned into a dragon claw and grabbed towards Night Sorrow. Yishang waved his right hand and used the heaven-covering hand to slap Long Jin's right claw. Then he charged forward and punched Long Jin's dragon claw that had been hit by the heaven-covering hand. Bang! With a loud explosion of energy, Night Sorrow took a few steps back. Long Jin's body was sent flying. After a somersault, he landed on the ground. However, his feet were already outside the ring. Look at the LR version of Q5 chapter, smiling. Long Jin walked onto the stage. I know that the captain has a deep understanding of fighting and is best at fighting techniques. Since the captain has played with me head-on, and I lost, there is nothing to say. After speaking, Long Jin looked at the Golden Dragon King, who was at the referee's table. The Golden Dragon King stood up and said, "You fought well. You have the style of a golden dragon. You didn't lose face when you met a monster. In the future, you will return to Dragon Island once in a while. You are free to do otherwise." Night Sorrow wins this match. The host, Emperor Tang, said. Chapter 1846. At that moment, Night Sorrow felt uncomfortable. His glory shouldn't be built on his brother. Challenge. This was Night Sorrow's challenge to all the cultivators participating in the battle for the first vanguard position. Night Sorrow, quickly go down and follow the rules. Emperor Tang looked at Night Sorrow and said, Night Sorrow was the human race's most likely candidate for the first vanguard position. Therefore, he didn't want anything to happen to Night Sorrow. Men should behave like men. The battle for the first vanguard and the first commander position has been held many times in the 100 Races Alliance Conference. Every time, it's the same old tune. If you want to do something different. This way, the future generations will remember it. The current format is very good. There are still 20 participants. Whoever is capable can go up. The loser will lose the qualification while the winner can apply for a break. The last person standing on the arena will be the first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance, said King Yowu. Spirit Tree Race, flower without words. I admire your battle strength and courage, but you can't treat the Imperial Emperors as nothing. Let me test your strength. A cultivator went up on the arena. It was Flower Without Words, a peak Imperial Emperor from the Spirit Tree Race. He had already defeated a few opponents. Alright, come on. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear shook, and his battle intent soared. Flower Without Words cultivated the sword Dao. His sword was extremely fast, and his domain was a level 5 domain. After Night Sorrow displayed his spear art, he directly suppressed Flower Without Words. Flower Without Words' domain was ineffective. It was torn apart by Night Sorrow's spear art that contained a compressed domain. After Night Sorrow used the True Dragon Destruction art, the Linked Void Extreme Kill annihilated Flower Without Words' longsword. The reincarnation spear stopped at Flower Without Words' forehead. It only took a moment. You lost. Night Sorrow withdrew his reincarnation spear and took a few steps back. Yes, I lost. No matter how domineering you are, I have no right to question you. Flower Without Words retreated after saying that. Following which, the contenders for the position of number 1 vanguard went up onto the arena one after another. Night Sorrow did not rest. He brandished his reincarnation spear and moved unhindered on the arena. No opponent was able to withstand his attacks. So what if he sent out a clone? The spatial rend cut and blocked the opponent's doppelganger. The soul-extinguishing slash, together with the true dragon destruction art and the great emperor reincarnation slash, would result in a fatal blow. The referees in the referee's booth made their moves one after another to stop Night Sorrow's killing move. Because they were too slow in stopping it, it was easy for injuries to occur. Night Sorrow, you've won 7 matches in a row. Do you need to rest? Emperor Tang asked. His eyes were filled with admiration. Regardless of the outcome of the battle for the position of First Vanguard, the name of Night Sorrow of the human race would be passed down among the 100 races. With his spear, no one among the Imperial Emperors could match his sharpness. I don't need it. Night Sorrow shook his head. He had no intention of going down the arena yet. He had not expended much energy. I originally planned for you to go down and rest after you couldn't hold on any longer. I would then come up and fight you at your peak. It seems that no one can force you down yet. A woman walked onto the arena. I'm in a good condition now. Night Sorrow looked at the coquettish woman from the Nine-Tailed Fox clan and said, My name is Bai Lingling. It's fine as long as you're in a good condition. However, I want to make a bet with you. Bai Lingling said, What do you want to bet on? Night Sorrow was somewhat puzzled. I want to bet on her. If I win, you can ask Yi Mei to change her name. Our Nine-Tailed Fox clan surname is Bai, but her surname is Yi. Bai Lingling pointed at Yi Mei in the Humanitarian League's seating area and said, Back then, she didn't have a name and always followed me. She called me Big Brother. Later on, she changed her name to Yi Mei. I'm not forcing this on her. It's her freedom to call herself whatever she wants. No one can bet on it. It's disrespectful. I won't accept this bet. Night Sorrow refused. She said that as long as you, Night Sorrow, nod your head, she will change her name. Bai Lingling did not give up. No one can use my brothers and sisters to negotiate conditions. You want me to nod my head? You think too much. If it's something that belongs to me, Night Sorrow, then I'll accept it. Anything else is off. Night Sorrow was somewhat impatient because Bai Lingling's words were somewhat disrespectful. Damn it. After cursing, Bai Lingling made her move. Her doppelganger appeared. The real body and the doppelganger waved their swords. Sword chi lingered around the arena. Mist rose up in the arena. Bai Lingling transformed into her beast form. A huge white fox appeared. 9 tails stood up behind her. Each tail emitted a halo of light, forming a domain. Not good. She used the psychedelic domain. It will affect the soul. If one is confused, they will enter an illusion. Once they get lost, they will be in big trouble. Yi Mei, who was sitting in the Humanitarian League's seats, stood up anxiously. Everyone else took a wait-and-see attitude. They were afraid that no one would be able to fight Night Sorrow head-on. This was because in a head-on fight, even the Golden Dragon clan's Long Jin was not Night Sorrow's opponent. The others were even worse. The psychedelic domain was a test of the soul. Perhaps it was Night Sorrow's weakness. Seed E Original Chapter B. Unspecified Currency Section L. Riff Night Sorrow's soul was his weakness and his willpower was not strong enough, then Bai Lingling would have a chance to win. You want to mess with my mind? But my heart is like the sun and moon. My spear can decide the universe. Open. Night Sorrow's roar came from the mist. Then, a golden light appeared in front of Bai Lingling. Night Sorrow's doppelganger used the Blood Kirin Evil Slayer spear. The virtuous golden light broke through Bai Lingling's psychedelic domain. Not far from Bai Lingling, Night Sorrow's doppelganger used the Blood Kirin Evil Slayer spear, aiming for Bai Lingling's head. Night Sorrow's real body also used the Great Emperor's reincarnation slash, aiming for Bai Lingling's dantian. He lost. His willpower is as strong as iron. Psychedelic attacks are useless. The Golden Dragon King shook his head. Song Tian waved his arm and used his energy to imprison Night Sorrow's real body and doppelganger. Then, he pulled them back to the center of the arena. At the same time, he waved his sleeve and cleared the energy from the arena. Bai Lingling's face was pale. She knew that if Song Tian hadn't interfered, Night Sorrow would have killed her. She wouldn't have been able to defend herself. You really want to kill me? Bai Lingling turned into her human form and asked Night Sorrow. That's right. I want to kill you. You went against Mai and Yimei's wishes and took her away. Now, you want to use her as a wager? No one can have ideas about my brothers and sisters. If anyone wants to go against their wishes and force them to do something, I, Night Sorrow, will not allow it. Night Sorrow said coldly. Then do you know that if you kill me, you'll become an enemy of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan? Bai Lingling said coldly. If you don't give me and my brothers and sisters face, I don't care what race you are. Night Sorrow said, pointing his reincarnation spear at the ground. Tianyu and the others looked at Yimei. There were tears in her eyes. Having a brother like you is the happiest thing in my life. Emperor Tang announced Night Sorrow's victory and clapped his hands. Following Emperor Tang's clapping, all the human cultivators followed suit. The human race needed a cultivator like Night Sorrow. With a cultivator like him, there was no need to worry about the human race's prosperity. Chapter 1847. The referees looked at Song Skycloud, who closed his eyes. When Night Sorrow had tried to kill Bai Lingling, Song Skycloud had known that Night Sorrow would seek out Heaven's Horizon. Night Sorrow had offended the Nine-Tailed Fox clan for Yimei's sake. If he wanted justice for Tianyu, he wouldn't be afraid of the Green Rock clan either. Do you think you're invincible just because you beat a bunch of weaklings? Heaven's Horizon rose to his feet and looked Night Sorrow in the eye. What a pig, said the Demon King, laughing. Who knows how many people he's offended with that one sentence? He's even more annoying than the League Lord himself. He's a natural-born taunt. As the Demon King spoke, many of the Vanguard members rose to their feet. They'd lost to Night Sorrow, but they were all emperors and the pride of their clans. Night Sorrow had defeated Night Sorrow with his strength. They didn't like it, but they had to admit defeat. But what did Heaven's Horizon think he was? He'd blasted them with his mouth. That's some bullsh*t. He's attacking everyone indiscriminately. Ha! I'm dying of laughter. Pu Luo laughed as well. Song Skycloud didn't open his eyes. He just took a deep breath. Heaven's Horizon's words had offended far too many people. He could feel the Golden Dragon King's murderous intent. Even Golden Dragon had lost to Night Sorrow. Did the Golden Dragon clan really think they were weaklings? Song Skycloud, said Kirin, don't you think your clansmen have gone too far? He'll give you an explanation, said Song Skycloud. Your mouth stinks. I've fought others before, but if they want to drink tea or spar with me, Night Sorrow, won't refuse. Opponents and enemies are two different things. I respect my opponents. Night Sorrow looked at Heaven's Horizon. Full marks. With that one sentence, the other clans won't be hostile to Night Sorrow. League Lord, you can, said the Demon King. This is an arena battle. Or I'll kill you. Heaven's Horizon looked at the referees. The Golden Dragon King looked at the other referees. Seeing no one speak, he stood. Not bad. You have the determination to fight to the death. You're a good cultivator. Don't try to convince me. Of course. Heaven's Horizon nodded. Heaven's Horizon, said the Golden Dragon. Night Sorrow. 2. The Golden Dragon King was encouraging Heaven's Horizon at this moment. In fact, it was obvious that he wanted Heaven's Horizon to die. Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other before turning to look at Long Jin. They sympathized with Long Jin because the Golden Dragon King was a huge pit. They didn't know how Long Jin survived. Then let's fight to the death. The winner will decide. Night Sorrow said. Green Rock Clan leader. You don't have any objections? The Golden Dragon King looked at Cloudy Horizon. I don't care. Cloudy Horizon was furious. Not only was Heaven's Horizon lacking in temperament, he was also lacking in intelligence. The Golden Dragon King was clearly telling him to die, but he didn't understand. Fine. Then let's fight to the death. The Golden Dragon King sat down. Golden Dragon King, you're too much of a scammer. Kirin said. Scammer? Who's a chicken or a dog? His whole family is a chicken or a dog. Of course, this king wasn't talking about the Green Rock Clan leader. He has a big mouth. Let's see how strong he is. The Golden Dragon King looked at the Green Rock Clan leader, who had turned his head away. At the same time, he made it clear that he wasn't happy. He wanted Heaven's Horizon dead. The Grand Elder and King Yowu were helpless. The Golden Dragon King was like this. No one could do anything about it. Their grudge isn't new. Back in the Heaven's Horizon, when I wasn't paying attention, he bullied my grandson, Tianyu. Therefore, Night Sorrow wants to avenge Tianyu. Even if Night Sorrow doesn't deal with him, I will skin him alive. Cloudy Horizon said. With Cloudy Horizon's words, everyone knew why Night Sorrow was pointing his spear at the Green Rock Clan. The grudge had existed even before the arena battle. Cloudy Horizon, you're unhappy too. You want to borrow Night Sorrow's hand to avenge your grandson. Kirin said with a smile. At this moment, the atmosphere in the arena was tense. Night Sorrow and Celestial Cliffs looked at each other, waiting for the host, Tang Zong's order. You'll know that in front of absolute speed, you're trash. Heaven's Horizon looked coldly at Night Sorrow. He was confident in his speed. Otherwise, he wouldn't have accepted the deathmatch. Night Sorrow didn't say anything in response. The deathmatch had been approved by the judges. Everything would be decided by strength. Emperor Tang saw King Yowu nod and then announced the start of the battle. Hearing Emperor Tang's words, Heaven's Horizon's body shook. A pair of wings appeared on his back and a battle blade appeared in his hand. The battle blade was his life weapon, formed from his own rock beak. Brandishing the battle blade, Heaven's Horizon charged towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved his reincarnation spear and blocked Heaven's Horizon's attack, repelling him. In terms of strength, Heaven's Horizon wasn't Night Sorrow's opponent. Retreating after a clash, Heaven's Horizon surrounded Night Sorrow and began to attack. His speed was really fast. One could see a series of afterimages with the naked eye. However, Heaven's Horizon still couldn't break through Night Sorrow's defense. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear had no openings. He released his domain, and Heaven's Horizon's attack was slowed down when it entered the domain. Let's see how long you can defend. Heaven's Horizon roared and released his doppelganger. Together, he and his doppelganger attacked Night Sorrow. At this time, Night Sorrow's doppelganger also appeared. Heaven's Horizon was his last strong opponent. If he defeated Heaven's Horizon and vented his anger for Tianyu, he would almost be the first vanguard. After Night Sorrow's doppelganger appeared, the domain that was originally only protecting his body shook and burst out in all directions, enveloping Heaven's Horizon within. The domain controlled by the light of virtue was extremely powerful. It instantly suppressed Heaven's Horizon's speed. After reducing Heaven's Horizon's speed, Night Sorrow's original body and doppelganger simultaneously used Space Rend, separating Heaven's Horizon's original body and doppelganger. Then, the crescent blades of 6 soul-extinguishing slashes were sent towards Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger. Afterward, the original body and doppelganger also approached Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger. Night Sorrow's doppelganger used the blood-chilling, evil-punishing spear to execute the true dragon annihilation. His original body held the human emperor's seal in his left hand and arrived above Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger. At this moment, Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger was attacked by the crescent blades of 6 soul-extinguishing slashes. Its soul began to defend itself. Then, it was affected by Night Sorrow's doppelganger's true dragon annihilation slash. Its body stopped in the air and was unable to move. Night Sorrow's original body came down from the top. The human emperor's seal covered Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger's head and smashed it to the ground. Then, the reincarnation spear in his right hand executed the void extreme kill and shot out. It pierced through Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger's chest and nailed it face down to the arena. The arena's ground was incomparably hard. However, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear could still pierce a hole through it. Night Sorrow's doppelganger executed the true dragon annihilation slash. After affecting Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger, he turned around and intercepted Heaven's Horizon's original body. His original body landed on Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger's back. One of his feet stepped on a wing. Then, the dazzling human emperor's seal in his left hand smashed towards the back of Heaven's Horizon's head. K. Forever %5, free to watch E. Little L says K%. Chapter 1848. After the fourth slap, Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger's head was gone. Night Sorrow had an energy shield around him. Otherwise, the blood would have splattered all over his body. Standing up, Yi Shiwen's domain energy crisscrossed and shredded Heaven's Horizon's doppelganger. Night Sorrow's main body joined the battle between Heaven's Horizon and his doppelganger. "I'll definitely kill you." Heaven's Horizon's rage soared to the heavens because his clone had been destroyed by Night Sorrow, leaving not even a corpse behind. "This isn't the first time you've said this. Today, you will regret being born in this world." Night Sorrow's main body and doppelganger's attacks became more violent. Dragons have reverse scales. Humans are the same. There are some places that cannot be touched. Heaven's Horizon is now the price for touching this reverse scale, the Golden Dragon King said. The battle on the stage was one-sided. Heaven's Horizon could only dodge. He had no power to fight back. "I concede," Heaven's Horizon shouted. However, he was interrupted by Night Sorrow's heaven-covering hand. He realized that the gap between him and Night Sorrow was too big. There was no way he could win, so he wanted to admit defeat. "You have a chance." Night Sorrow's main body and avatar unleashed two spatial rifts. Then, 6 crescent blades of soul-extinguishing slash attacked Heaven's Horizon's God Sea. Then, the avatar's blood-Qilin evil-slaying spear unleashed true dragon-destructive spell and a set of control skills. It was useless for Heaven's Horizon to admit defeat. This was a life-and-death arena. However, Night Sorrow didn't want to follow his wishes. He wouldn't give him the chance to admit defeat. While Heaven's Horizon was in a daze, Night Sorrow's main body used the Human Emperor's seal to cover Heaven's Horizon's face. Then he rode on Heaven's Horizon's body and smashed the brick down, knocking Heaven's Horizon unconscious. Then he took out the ice dragon tendon from the sky-piercing spear and tied up Heaven's Horizon's wings and legs like a pig. "You hit my brother and despise the Humanitarian League. You have the right to do so." After tying him up, Night Sorrow slapped Heaven's Horizon awake. Too violent. At this moment, the Vanguard contenders who had fought with Night Sorrow were relieved that they hadn't triggered Night Sorrow's berserk mode. A life-and-death battle. Yi Shang stood up and looked at the referee's stand as he asked, "Is it up to me to decide who lives and who dies?" "But you still have to think about it," the Grand Elder said. Night Sorrow sent Heaven's Horizon flying with a flying kick. His body landed in the Humanitarian League seats. Green Rock Clan leader, Night Sorrow declares that I have no intention of being hostile to the Green Rock Clan. Today, I am here to seek justice for my brother Tianyu. Tianyu, Longjin, Ruisi, you deal with him. Tianyu, you can vent your anger. I don't want to see him again. Ruisi stood up and stepped on Heaven's Horizon's back. He looked at Night Sorrow and said, "Alliance Master, apart from his grudge with Tianyu, how is his character? If his character is good enough, I'll give him a quick death." "He doesn't deserve the word, character. If he did, I'd just teach him a lesson. His spirit is black. How many sins do you think he's committed?" Night Sorrow looked Ruisi in the eye. "Then that's enough. Brothers and sisters of the Alliance, the Humanitarian League doesn't do anything excessive. Punishing evil and promoting good is our mission. But if someone dares commit evil, then he'll be an example. If he doesn't deserve to be a man, then don't be one." Ruisi picked Heaven's Horizon up and left. Song Yun stood, wanting to say something but didn't move. But Tian Yunhai of the Green Rock Clan stood. "You'd best behave yourself," Pu Luo said when he saw Tian Yunhai rise. "Pu Luo, what's the meaning of this?" Tian Yunhai growled. "How boring. You want to save someone? If you dare, then I don't mind keeping you company." Pu Luo's fighting spirit soared, and he tossed the golden brick in his hand. "This matter ends here. If this is a fight to the death, then we must abide by the rules. Everyone, sit down." The Grand Elder pointed his golden spear at the ground. Pu Luo gave Tian Yunhai a look of disdain, then sat down. If Tian Yunhai dared to stop Ruisi, then he'd smack him in the head. Knight Sorrow clasped his hands around his spear and clasped them in salute. My apologies. I was a little emotional. Please forgive me. Not bad, the Demon King said, crossing his arms. Once you've gone berserk, you're a true gentleman. Emperor Tang asked if Knight Sorrow was resting. After receiving a positive answer, Emperor Tang looked to the remaining vanguard contenders and asked if anyone wanted to take the stage. Emperor Tang asked for a while, but no one came out to fight. Judges, Knight Sorrow is the last vanguard contender standing on the arena. No one wants to challenge him. Emperor Tang clasped his hands in salute to the 5 judges. Since no one wants to challenge him, then Knight Sorrow is the vanguard of this year's 100 Races Alliance. In addition, the Heaven Wasteland Army's first army is now recruiting. The elites who just fought can all sign up. Next are the 2nd and 3rd ranked contenders. They don't need to fight. The 5 judges will decide based on the strength of the battle, the Grand Elder said. The 5 judges were all powerhouses. Their decisions were absolutely fair, and no one would question them. After a while, Chi-E stood up. According to the analysis of the battle situation, in the Vanguard battle, other than Knight Sorrow, the Golden Dragon race's Long Jean is shockingly strong and has the strength of 2nd place. The 3rd place should have been Heaven's Horizon of the Green Rock race, but unfortunately, he has lost the qualification. The remaining 2 are Tiger Cold of the Heaven-Devouring Tiger race and Bilingling of the Nine-Tailed Fox race. Both of them are evenly matched, so they won't continue to fight. They are 3rd place. Hearing Chi-Yi's announcement, Long Jean, Tiger Cold, and Bilingling stood up and clasped their hands in thanks. After that, the meeting announced that they would take a break for now. Tomorrow, the battle for the position of First Commander would begin. The dust had settled, and the biggest winners were Knight Sorrow and the Human Alliance. Forever, free of D and, look at the small talk. The words, Human Dao Gold Brick, were imprinted in everyone's mind. Even the emperors were afraid because the Humanitarian League didn't only have Knight Sorrow as their emperor. There were also a few other powerful emperors. If they provoked them, they wouldn't have a good ending. The Humanitarian League returned to Knight Sorrow's courtyard. A celebration was necessary. After the banquet was set up, Ruisi, Long Jean, and Tianyu returned. You guys dealt with him? Yu Zhu asked. Yes, Ruisi is very good. With his help, the Celestial Cliffs made a woman and she was taken by a wild boar. Then, she was thrown down the wall of the heavenly desolate city to die on her own, Long Jean said. Why didn't you just kill him? Knight Sorrow looked at the 3 of them. Then Ruisi explained the reason. The 7th Elder and the Green Rock race's leader appeared. The 7th Elder asked if they could give Heaven's Horizon a chance. After consulting with Tianyu, Long Jean, and himself, the Green Rock race's leader exiled him. He has no backbone and can't survive. He'll defect easily. Knight Sorrow shook his head helplessly. Let's not care about him. It's so satisfying to be taken by a wild boar. Let's see who dares to look down on our Humanitarian League again, Yu Zhu said with a smile. Chapter 1849. King Yowu wasn't the only one who came. The Grand Elder was there too. Martial Uncle, Great Elder. Yishang bowed in greeting. The others also cupped their hands in greeting. You did well today, King Yowu said after sitting down. I was too angry today and did things too rashly. Please forgive me, Uncle, Knight Sorrow said. King Yowu shook his head. He didn't blame Knight Sorrow. He felt that it was good to follow one's heart. A man should be ambitious and dare to fight against the world. Very good. You raised the morale of the human race and proved that the human race has a successor, Grand Elder said. He was also very happy. Knight Sorrow made tea for King Yowu and the Grand Elder. Don't worry about those small fries. Just kill them directly. It's not fun to let them cause trouble. Also, consider the reputation of all parties. If there's anyone looking for trouble with you, just kill them first, King Yowu said. The Great Elder told Yishang that there were some follow-up matters to be taken care of, and then he left with King Yowu. Not long after King Yowu left, Chi Rui brought Lin Yun and Lin Yu to congratulate him. Then, he handed Lin Yu to Night Sorrow because Lin Yu wanted to develop the Humanitarian League. Night Sorrow didn't refuse. The Blood Qilin race was kind enough to him. After Qi Rui left, the Golden Dragon King came. He still had a long face as if someone owed him money. N62 permanent Y free equals O fee looks small. After sitting down, the Golden Dragon King glanced at Night Sorrow. I really couldn't tell that you were such a ruthless person. Long Jean, work hard and defeat this kid. Uncle, I've worked hard these years. Besides, brothers fight side by side, Long Jean said. How disappointing. Night Sorrow brat, you and the Humanitarian League are pretty good. I'll leave the Night Sorrow with you. If you encounter anything you can't handle, just go to the Dragon Island and shout. Don't bother this king with small matters. After giving Night Sorrow a look of disdain, the Golden Dragon King disappeared from Night Sorrow's courtyard. Night Sorrow shook his head helplessly. The Golden Dragon King was also a troublemaker. If it wasn't for the Golden Dragon King, Heaven's Horizon would have been really difficult to kill. The rules of the arena were within the rules, and even if he were to kill, the referee would have stopped him. As they chatted, everyone looked at the Great Demon King and asked if he had any confidence in the competition for the position of First Commander tomorrow. The Great Demon King put down his wine cup and patted his chest. Everyone had more confidence in the Great Demon King. His situation was different from Night Sorrow's. Night Sorrow was fighting his way up with a lower cultivation level. He was fighting above his cultivation level, which required battle strength. The Great Demon King had passed the 6 tribulations of the Heavenly Tao. When he fought against ordinary emperors, he was fighting his way down. Besides, before he passed the Emperor's tribulation, he was already one of the top emperors. Therefore, it wasn't difficult for him. Long Jean asked about the situation of the God-slaying team. He missed that group of brothers. After you, Tianyu, and Yi Mei were taken away, Auntie Fei and Lord Longxian were also taken away. This put a lot of pressure on the brothers of the God-slaying team. Therefore, they are now working hard to raise their cultivation level. To be honest, they are under a lot of pressure to be brothers with us, Night Sorrow said. Long Jean, Tianyu, Yi Mei, and the others nodded. They knew that the brothers of the God-slaying squad were all eager to be strong. They didn't want to fall behind the pace of the battle. This was something that they had all deeply felt. When Yi Shang had been fighting outside, they had also been anxious as they watched. At this moment, the various clans of the 100 Races Alliance were having a meeting. The main thing was to emphasize that they shouldn't provoke the Humanitarian League led by Night Sorrow. The Green Rock clan had a villa in Tianhuang City. At this moment, Song Tian was roaring inside. The other Green Rock clan members didn't dare to make a sound, including Elder Tian Yunhai. The Green Rock clan respected the strong. Why was Song Tian the clan leader and Tian Yunhai not? Because of the difference in strength, Song Tian could sit in the referee's seat. Tian Yunhai could only sit in the Green Rock clan's seat. You're not that strong, but you've learned how to be a tyrant? You're good at internal battles, but what about external battles? You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, and you're not strong enough either. What a disgrace. Song Tian pointed his finger and scolded. If any of you dare look at my grandson with disdain again, I dare you. After cursing for a while, Song Tian finally calmed down. This time, an elder of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan had come. Bai Zizhen. Lingling, you're being a bit rash. The patriarch said not to force Yi Mei. If you do this, she'll dislike you. Bai Zizhen looked at Bai Lingling. I just want Yi Mei to feel a sense of belonging. We, the mighty Nine-Tailed Fox clan, have a human surname. That doesn't make sense, Bai Lingling said quietly. Let's put that aside for now. Also, don't feel superior. Humans are the leader of the 100 races. Although their talent for cultivation is uneven, excellent cultivators have always existed. Right now, the strongest members of the 100 Races Alliance are humans. The Lord of Tianhuang City and the Lord of the Divine Capital are both almighty figures who maintain the stability of the 100 races. Let's talk about Night Sorrow. He's only 200 years old and has become an imperial emperor. Moreover, he's an imperial emperor who can fight above his level. There has never been such a genius in the history of our clan. Bai Zizhen looked at Bai Lingling and said, she could understand Bai Lingling's mentality. Bai Lingling wanted to contribute to the clan and make her presence known so that the clan would value her more. Bai Lingling nodded. Although she was unwilling, Bai Zizhen had made it clear. She couldn't talk about it anymore. Bai Zizhen then talked about the competition for the first commander. For this 100 Races Alliance conference, the Nine-Tailed Fox clan had high hopes for the first vanguard. According to their investigation, the human race didn't have any outstanding imperial emperors. Of course, they didn't know Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow wasn't an imperial emperor a few years ago. As for the first commander, the human race's Fiend God ranking list was a reference. The top few on the Fiend God ranking list were too strong. Lin Piaomiao, the Great Demon King, and Fan Tian were all outstanding imperial emperors. It was too difficult to get the first commander from them. The 100 Races Elders Guild also reported about the restrictions for the first commander. Bai Zizhen was a guild elder and knew the current level of Lin Piaomiao, the Great Demon King, and the others. Although Lin Piaomiao had withdrawn from this competition with the Great Demon King and Fan Tian participating, it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to snatch the first commander from the human race. Bai Lingling and the others bowed. They knew the level of Lin Piaomiao, the Great Demon King, and Fan Tian. Also, Lingling, report to the first commander of the Heaven Wasteland Army later, Bai Zizhen said. Bai Lingling looked at Bai Zizhen in confusion. The Nine-Tailed Fox clan had members in the Heaven Wasteland Army, but they were all ordinary clan members. An elite of the clan like her wouldn't be arranged to serve in the army. There are some things you don't know. Do you know why this 100 Races Alliance conference was held in advance? Because of the need to compete with the Demon Wing clan, the selection this time is to enter the reincarnation battlefield. That was the battlefield where the 100 Races Alliance and the Demon Wing clan fought in the previous reincarnation. It should be said that it was the battlefield between the human race and the Demon Wing clan. That was where the human emperor and the demon ancestor fought, Bai Zizhen said. Chapter 1850. That was the 100 Races Alliance's victory. The human race was the leader. Too many elites of the 100 races had died, so there were many remnants. It's an opportunity to enter the reincarnation battlefield. Our Nine-Tailed Fox clan also had an ancestor who died there, so we should enter if we can, Bai Zizhen said. If I want to join the first army of the 100 Races Alliance, then I have to work according to Night Sorrow's wishes. Bai Lingling was somewhat reluctant. Night Sorrow is the Merit Emperor. Is it shameful to work under him? Do you think you're nobler than those in the Humanitarian League? If you can't think about your clan, then go back now. After hearing Bai Lingling's words, Bai Zizhen could not suppress her anger and immediately glared at Bai Lingling. Bai Lingling trembled. This was the first time the good-tempered Bai Zizhen lost her temper in front of her clan. Seeing that Bai Lingling was silent, Bai Zizhen snorted coldly. Only a few people know about this. Why did the Golden Dragon King leave Long Jin in the Humanitarian League? Is Ancestor Green Rock also willing to put his grandson in the Humanitarian League? It's all for this matter. Open the space-time channel and send the highest cultivation level into the reincarnation battlefield. If it's an emperor, then the space-time channel will not be stable, so this time the first army of the Heaven Wasteland Army will be in charge. The Grand Elder and King Yowu were talking in the Grand Elder's small world about the reincarnation battlefield. They did not tell Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow had to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower for a period of time. They did not want to distract Night Sorrow during this time. About opening the space-time channel, we'll have to trouble you, Grand Elder, King Yowu said to the Grand Elder. #PinVersion J equals first 8 shots. It's nothing. The two city lords can't have any mishaps. They have to be in their best condition at all times because we don't know when the Demon Winged clan will attack. The Black Dragons are also a hidden danger. The Grand Elder nodded. In the past, I've always considered the feelings of the Golden Dragon King and the Cyan Dragons, so I didn't attack them ruthlessly. This time, when they attacked the Blood Qilin clan, they obviously have no bottom line. I can tolerate it the first time, but I can't tolerate it the second time. Later, I will talk to the Golden Dragon King and make a trip to the Azure Dragons. Last time, Brother Tran Hung also didn't give the Azure Dragons face, King Yewu said. King Yewu said that the last time the Azure Dragons came to ask Tran Hung why the members of the other races of the 100 Races Alliance couldn't be listed on the Celestial and Demon ranking. In the end, they were slapped away by Tran Hung. The Azure Dragon King didn't know Tran Hung's identity, so he asked the 100 Races Alliance's Council of Elders to make a decision. The human race directly rejected it, which made the Azure Dragons feel embarrassed. Therefore, in recent years, the Azure Dragons didn't participate in some of the 100 Races Alliance's activities. The Grand Elder nodded. Things had to be resolved. The Golden Dragon King was the leader of the dragons, so the Black and Azure Dragons also needed to be discussed with him. Night Sorrow and the others didn't know about this situation and were celebrating. Night Sorrow took the first vanguard position and obtained the opportunity to enter the Wasteland Tower. The Humanitarian League also became famous. Everyone was happy and drank a little more wine. The next day, a group of people came to the martial arts arena in high spirits. A day ago, not many members of the 100 Races Alliance knew Night Sorrow. When they saw the Humanitarian League's seats, they snorted and looked down on them. However, it was different now. When they saw Night Sorrow and the others, they all nodded in acknowledgement. The Humanitarian League was strong and had many backers. Night Sorrow's cultivation was low, but his potential was huge. In addition, in the last stage yesterday, Night Sorrow stood on the arena and challenged more than 20 contenders for the first vanguard position. His domineering aura was admirable. Tiger Cold cupped his hands at Night Sorrow, and Flower Without Words also nodded in acknowledgement. Night Sorrow cupped his hands in return. He had a good impression of these people. To be able to cultivate to the monarch realm, one's temperament was very important. Of course, there were also people with extreme temperaments and couldn't bear the pressure, or their temperament changed after some achievements. They couldn't be generalized. Heaven's Cliffs was an example. 13th brother, you look so handsome wearing Night Moon's King battle armor. Yimei smiled. Yesterday, I gave that 9-tailed fox clans by Lingling a hard time. You won't be troubled when you go back, right? But don't worry, 13th brother, will trouble whoever makes things difficult for you. Night Sorrow turned around and patted Yimei's shoulder. Yeah, I'm not afraid of trouble. Yimei smiled. Brother, you're so good to Yimei. Lin Yu said with a smile. You call me brother. If anyone dares to bully you, I'll greet them with my fists. Night Sorrow waved his hand at Lin Yu. The battle for the first commander position began under the supervision of the judges and Emperor Tang. The battle this time was completely a performance by the Great Demon King and Fention. The two of them sent golden bricks flying everywhere, and no one could stop them. This made the contenders for the first commander position in the 100 Races Alliance shudder in fear. Whoever was hit by the golden bricks would feel pain. The Great Demon King and Fention were strong. One of them had passed the 6 tribulations of the heavenly law, while the other had passed the 5 tribulations of the heavenly law. When there were only a dozen people left, the Great Demon King and Fention met. The two of them bumped their golden bricks together. Fention smiled. It's meaningless to fight anymore. Rock, scissors, paper. The Great Demon King and Fention began a new round of rock, paper, scissors. Knock down half of the remaining ones for me. The rest is yours. Fention, who lost the rock, paper, scissors game, said with a smile. All right, I'll help you get your share. The Great Demon King nodded. Boring. I was hoping that they would clash. They suddenly stopped playing. The Golden Dragon King was very dissatisfied. They are brothers. They are playing together to kill the enemy, not each other. Chi Rui said. Why didn't Lin Piaomiao fight? The Golden Dragon King asked. She's married. After a woman gets married, she calms down and looks down on these fights. They are all members of the Humanitarian League. As long as the first commander is in the Humanitarian League, it's enough. The Grand Elder said. Who is so lucky? The Green Rock Patriarch was very interested. He wanted to know who Lin Piaomiao was married to. Chi Rui lifted his chin and pointed at Night Sorrow. It's Night Sorrow. My Blood Qilin clan also owes them a big favor. A few days ago, the Black Dragons attacked the Blood Qilin mountain while I was saving my daughter. At that time, Elder Lin was present. She risked her life to hold back the 2 Black Dragons' elders. At that time, she was only a clone. It wasn't easy for her to hold back the 2 Black Dragons' elders. Chi Rui said. I see. Chi Rui, I'm sorry. The Golden Dragon King cupped his hands at Chi Rui. I don't blame you. However, I can't let go of the Black Dragons. They really have no bottom line. They caused trouble when I was saving my daughter and almost made me suffer the pain of losing my daughter. This has crossed my bottom line. I hope you can understand, Golden Dragon King. Chi Rui said. The Golden Dragon King looked up at the sky. There were some things he couldn't understand. He went to find the Black Dragon King, but the Black Dragon King refused to see him. Chapter 1851. There was a reason for the formation of the 100 Races Alliance. It was because of the ambition of the Demon Winged Clan. The Demon Winged Clan was not native to the celestial realm. They were outsiders. The environment of their world was harsh. It was not as good as the celestial realm. It was not as peaceful as the celestial realm. Generation after generation, they had always wanted to overthrow the rule of the celestial realm and turn the celestial realm into the Demon Winged Clan's world. The native races of the celestial realm naturally did not allow it. Therefore, they had been fighting for countless years and several reincarnations. This was the crisis of the 100 races of the celestial realm. Therefore, resisting the Demon Winged Clan was the consensus of the 100 races of the celestial realm. But now, although the Black Dragons did not explicitly express that they were on the same side as the Demon Winged Clan, they had always cooperated with the Demon Winged Clan. It was as if they were a nail in the 100 Races Alliance. The Black Dragon Clan's actions made it very difficult for the various branches of the Dragon Clan to deal with themselves. The Green Dragon Clan and White Dragon Clan did not participate in the 100 Races Alliance conference this time because they were caught in the middle and were in a difficult position. The Golden Dragon King had to come because he knew that the other dragons would not come. If he did not come, it would mean that the dragons had left the 100 Races Alliance. Now that Chirui mentioned this, the Golden Dragon King could no longer remain silent. Golden Dragon King, I am very happy that you have come to attend the 100 Races Alliance conference. Your coming is a sign of your attitude. Your attitude is enough, King Yowu said. I am the Golden Dragon King of the Celestial Realm. Therefore, my beliefs are unwavering. It's just that I am unable to control my subordinates. For many years, the various branches of the dragons have been autonomous. There are some things that I am not clear about. The Golden Dragon King shook his head. It's better to go and find out more. Because we all belong to the 100 races of the Celestial Realm, even if the Black Dragons have gone overboard these years, we have not been ruthless. However, they have gone overboard this time. Chirui is our old friend. Don't we feel bad about this situation? King Yowu said. The Golden Dragon King sighed and patted Kirui's shoulder. Give me some time. We need to get to the bottom of this. Chirui clenched his fists. After a moment, he nodded. He knew that the Golden Dragon King was in a difficult position, and since he had spoken, he had to give him face. The Great Demon King on the stage was in high spirits. He also started a group battle without leaving the stage. No one could defeat him. He was now at the 6th tribulation of the Heavenly Tao. Fighting against ordinary emperors was like bullying. This guy is having a good time. He's bullying us. Yuju said. To be able to cultivate to such an extent within a minor epoch, that's his ability. Others have no choice but to accept it, said Pu Luo. What are you laughing at? Recessed. What are you laughing at? Look at the eyes of the other elders. They are very envious that we can sit here. Who doesn't envy us for having a human Dao gold brick in our hands? Pu Luo took the gold brick and tossed it up and down. Pu Luo tossed the gold brick in a very cool manner. Long Jin was interested. He took out his large gold brick and played with it, causing many people to look over. Long Jin, This isn't for slapping people. It's for smashing people. If the target doesn't deserve to die, you have to take it easy. You'll be smashed into a meat patty if you throw it out, Lin Piamiao said with a smile. That's a little awkward. Long Jin put away the large gold brick. Everyone looked at Long Jin in disdain. They also glanced at the Golden Dragon King. This was because the large gold brick was made by the Golden Dragon King. The Great Demon King stood on the stage with a weapon in one hand and a gold brick in the other. No one went up because it was too cruel. The gold brick was aimed at the head. No one went up. Emperor Tang announced that the Great Demon King would be the first commander of the Heaven Wasteland Army. King Ya Wu stood up and emphasized the importance of the Heaven Wasteland City and the significance of the 100 Races Alliance's existence. He wanted all cultivators to have the spirit of improvement. The Heaven Wasteland City would give you a big stage based on your ability. He also hoped that the young cultivators of various races would interact more. The meeting was then adjourned. The competition for the first commander and first vanguard of the 100 Races Alliance had come to an end. However, the people of various races did not leave. The Heaven Wasteland City was dominated by the human race, but other races also participated. They all had seats in the Council of Elders and also had their own encampments. They could not go back immediately after coming to the Heaven Wasteland City. This kind of scene could also broaden the horizons of the younger generation. Night Sorrow and the others returned to the courtyard, which seemed a little small. After returning to the courtyard, Pu Luo slammed the table and said with some dissatisfaction, "You're so inefficient. At this time, you still haven't arranged a decent residence for us. The first vanguard has to call friends. Isn't this place shabby? Pu Luo, you're too unkind. You're the law enforcement elder of the Heaven Wasteland City. Can't you arrange these things? You even slammed the table. Who are you trying to scare?" Qin Qianjie appeared in Night Sorrow's courtyard. "It's true that I'm the law enforcement elder, but I'm not in the law enforcement period right now." "Isn't Lu Qi in the law enforcement period now? Can't you do this?" Pu Luo said. "You don't know how busy 7th Elder is during the 100 Clan Alliance Conference, so he asked me to make arrangements for this matter." "Night Sorrow, let's go and take a look at the new residence," Qin Qianjie said. "Point? *CK. I'm satisfied. Anything is fine. If you're not satisfied, then we'll return to the Divine Martial City. Our Night Moon Villa is also comfortable," Pu Luo said. "Pu Luo, you're really a good-for-nothing. It's fine if you don't help, but you're dragging us down. Besides, when has our Heaven Wasteland City mistreated capable and meritorious members?" Qin Qianjie tapped the ground with his cane. "Our alliance master killed 5 demon wing emperors and even swindled tens of millions of sacred spirit stones and divine ash stones from the demon wing clan. Isn't this meritorious service? You've all forgotten about it," Pu Luo muttered. "You have to understand that it's us, not you. You didn't do anything either. Pu Luo, I see that you don't even blink when you betray others." Qin Qianjie then walked out of the courtyard. She had already arranged a new residence for Night Sorrow. The new residence was much more impressive. It was several times the size of the previous courtyard. Not only in terms of size, but also in terms of layout and architecture, it was very classy. "Thank you for your trouble, Sect Elder Qin." Night Sorrow cupped his fists to express his gratitude. Qin Qianjie looked at Pu Luo and said, "I have to. You have no good people around you. If I drag you to the divine capital to live, everyone will lose face." Pu Luo turned his head to the side and refused to meet Qin Qianjie's gaze. "Misty thanks Sect Elder Qin on behalf of my husband." Lin Misty bowed to Qin Qianjie. Qin Qianjie used to take good care of her. Last time, she also went to Qin Qianjie for Night Sorrow's matter. Qin Qianjie didn't refuse at all. "Misty, you're too polite. There's nothing wrong with you and Night Sorrow. It's just that someone has a bad heart." Qin Qianjie glanced at Pu Luo one more time and left. "You guys continue chatting. I won't be accompanying you today. The enforcement elders of the 100 Clans Elder Council have a meeting. I have to go." Pu Luo said. "Something big?" Great Demon King asked. Chapter 1852. Even if something big happens, it's just a battle. It's not a big deal. Ruisi, Yuju, prepare the wine. The great demon king shouted. Night Sorrow smiled. It might be a complicated matter, but it was simple for the great demon king. In fact, it was just a battle. Longjin, Tianyu, congratulations on your rapid rise and entering the Imperial Emperor realm. Night Sorrow poured a cup of wine and raised it to Longjin and Tianyu. Yimei, the nine-tailed fox clan's talent is not inferior to the other divine beast clans. Why didn't you enter the Imperial Emperor realm? Tianyu asked. I'm different from you. I encountered some problems after I was sent to the nine-domain world. My body was destroyed and I was reincarnated. Fortunately, the silver fox had the nine-tailed fox bloodline, so it didn't affect me too much. This time, after returning to the clan and entering the ancestral land, I mainly purified the bloodline and focused on building my foundation. Yimei explained her situation. Night Sorrow understood a little. When he first met Yimei, a silver fox had just given birth. Yimei was indeed the silver fox's child. Everyone has different lives, but the results are good. Yimei may have been unhappy in the past, but from now on, just live happily. Night Sorrow said. Yimei nodded. Having 13th brother in this life is the happiest thing for me. By the way, I have a sister who is especially good to me. Can I bring her over later? Of course. Night Sorrow nodded. While they were talking, Lin Yun arrived at Night Sorrow's place. Princess, are you worried about Lin Yu? Don't worry. She's fine here. Night Sorrow invited Lin Yun to sit down and said, No, I'm not worried. I'm here to congratulate you. Also, I told my father that the Bloodscale clan's clan leader is more suitable for second brother. I plan to join the Humanitarian League in the future. I'm not bad. Lin Yu said with a smile. Sure. I warmly welcome you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. After interacting with Lin Yun for a period of time, Lin Yun gave Night Sorrow a good impression. She had a high status and was the eldest princess of the Blood Qilin clan. However, she didn't put on any airs and didn't have an arrogant aura. Now, all the little sisters are ganging up on our Humanitarian League. That's good, but League Master, we need to collect materials. We can't skimp on the human Dao gold bricks. I don't have many materials to refine the human Dao gold bricks, Pu Luo said. That won't be a problem. Whatever you need, I'll go back to my family and look for it, Lin Yun said. After that, Tianyu, Yimei, and Longjin all said that they could find the materials. Night Sorrow left and returned to the encampment to call her sisters. She was very happy that Night Sorrow had agreed to take care of her sister and join the Humanitarian League. A moment later, Yimei brought a woman in white to Night Sorrow's new residence. Sister Meng Meng, let me introduce you. Yimei pulled the woman beside her and introduced her to Night Sorrow and the others. The woman in white was called Bai Meng Meng, the granddaughter of the nine-tailed fox clan's great elder. Bai Meng Meng cupped her hands and greeted Night Sorrow and the others. I originally wanted to pay a visit. I planned to join the Heaven Wasteland Army's first army, but my cultivation isn't the top among the Imperial Emperors, so I'm not confident, Bai Meng Meng said after sitting down. I'm not very clear about the details of the Heaven Wasteland Army's first army. I need to take over and understand it. However, I think that it shouldn't be a problem for a mid-level Imperial Emperor to join the Heaven Wasteland Army. Night Sorrow said, If you can join, then join. If you can't, then we'll wait, Yimei said. This is very important. I must try my best. If I join in the future, I might miss the reincarnation battlefield. Bai Meng Meng shook her head. Reincarnation battlefield? Night Sorrow and the others didn't understand. Bai Meng Meng looked at Night Sorrow and the others. After hesitating for a while, she told them about the news she received from Bai Zizhen. I see. If there's a chance, then fight for it. Sister Meng Meng, don't worry. If it doesn't go against the principles, there won't be a problem if you want to join. Night Sorrow nodded at Bai Meng Meng. Bai Meng Meng stood up. Alliance leader, just call me Meng Meng. Who cares about the battlefield? I still say the same thing. No matter how big the matter is, it's nothing more than a battle. Who here is afraid of battle? The great Demon King said. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow led the people to distribute the living quarters. The new residence was luxurious. Not to mention 10 people, even 100 or 1,000 people would not be crowded. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were naturally in the attic at the core of the courtyard. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao talked for a while. He felt that no one knew more about the news and understanding of this world than King Yewu. Don't ask for now. When it's suitable for us to know, Martial Uncle will tell us. There must be a reason why he hasn't told us yet, Lin Piaomiao said. How's your recovery? The black dragons are too despicable. I won't let this matter rest. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and asked. I've already fully recovered. I'm in peak condition now. Lin Piaomiao smiled. After resting for a night and working hard to have children, Night Sorrow started practicing his spear techniques. Spear techniques were already a part of his life. While Night Sorrow was practicing his spear, King Yewu came. After stopping his practice, Night Sorrow invited King Yewu to sit down. Martial Uncle is going back to Yawa Mountain. If you have anything to say, just tell the Grand Elder. If you need anything or can't deal with anything, just go to Yawa Mountain. King Yewu said. He was planning to leave Tianhuang City. Thank you, Martial Uncle. I'd like to ask about the reincarnation battlefield. Night Sorrow said. You're quite well informed. Originally, Martial Uncle and the Grand Elder wanted to tell you later, mainly because they didn't want you to feel pressured when entering the Tianhuang Tower. It's fine if you know, Martial Uncle will tell you. King Yewu didn't find it strange. After all, Night Sorrow was surrounded by elites from various races and domains. The reincarnation battlefield was in Nirvana Ocean. It was where the human race led the 100 Race Alliance to fight the demon-winged race in the previous reincarnation. It was where the human emperor and the demon ancestor fell. A large number of elites from the 100 Race Alliance and the demon-winged race died. Update Y% most stage on X hashtag the Tianhuang City Lord was proficient in prediction. He knew that the reincarnation battlefield would appear in Nirvana Ocean. Of course, the demon-winged race might know as well. Therefore, no matter what the situation was, the demon-winged race couldn't get the upper hand. It's just a war with some restrictions. Previously, the demon-winged race opened a space-time tunnel and sent 7 emperors over. Why were they emperors? Because the energy contained in the emperors' bodies was too strong and would cause the space-time tunnel to collapse. This time, it's a competition between the 100 Race Alliance and the demon-winged race. We don't ask for any opportunities. We just need to work hard. However, we can't let the demon-winged race obtain any benefits. Besides, the items from the previous reincarnation are very important. Therefore, you have to go, King Yewu said. Chapter 1853. Time. There may not be enough time. You will be in the Heaven Wasteland Tower for a year. The reincarnation battlefield will appear in 1.5 to 2 years, so you can decide on the specific arrangements yourself. Cultivating the death attribute is not bad. King Yewu nodded. Then I will make arrangements according to the situation. Night Sorrow nodded. Also, when you feel that you have reached a certain level, you can study your master's sword Dao. However, I feel that you should stabilize it first. Your spear Dao foundation has just been formed. You can study it after you stabilize it. It will be beneficial for you. King Yewu reminded Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that this was priceless advice. I am very assured about your situation. Once you have taken care of the matters at hand, you can return to Yewu Mountain to cultivate. King Yewu left after giving another reminder. Not long after King Yewu left, the Grand Elder, the 7 elders, and Pu Luo arrived at Night Sorrow's residence. After sitting down, the Grand Elder told the Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao that the Great Demon King was officially selected as the Grand Elder's candidate and Lin Piaomiao as the Disciplinary Elder's candidate. The two of them now had the authority of the Disciplinary Elder. Night Sorrow, after meeting you, my official position has been getting higher and higher. Is this luck? The Great Demon King said with a smile. The higher the position, the greater the responsibility. Be more steady in the future. You can't be like before. Once you are steady, you will mature. The Grand Elder looked at the Great Demon King and said, I understand. The Great Demon King nodded. He could ignore the words of others, but the Grand Elder was someone he respected. Piao Miao, I am very assured about you. Seeing you is like seeing the future of the human race. I am very happy, the Grand Elder said. Then the Grand Elder told him about the Heaven Wasteland Army. The Heaven Wasteland Army had a total of 31 armies. Each army had 300 people and 31 senior captains. The first vanguard was the first senior captain. The 3 territories were unified, which meant that there were 10 commanders. However, the first territory was not under the command of any of the commanders. The first vanguard had the right to mobilize on its own. That's not bad. Our 13th brother has always been invincible in the war. If he's under someone else's command and the commander isn't smart enough, then there's no way to fight the war, Tianyu said. Night Sorrow, you don't have to worry about that. Later, the 7th Elder will take you to the First Army's encampment. Also, the First Army will recruit some people, but you have to know that the First Army will not accept anyone below the Imperial Emperor level, said the Grand Elder. Don't. Although Yi Mei is a 3-star overlord, she definitely has the strength of an Imperial Emperor. Night Sorrow looked at Yi Mei and said, I'll give you 3 spots, no more than that. In the army, you have to obey orders, the Grand Elder said. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that this was the rule. It was already good enough to have 3 slots. After the Grand Elder and Lu Qi left, Night Sorrow and the others talked. If I can make the decision to recruit people, Meng Meng won't have a problem. Yi Mei, your 13th brother will definitely bring you along. Night Sorrow looked at White Meng Meng, then patted Yi Mei's shoulder and said, 13th brother, I'm now a 3-star overlord. If I go back to the clan and cultivate in seclusion later, I might not need this slot, said Yi Mei. That's fine. Don't feel pressured. I'll take care of everything, Night Sorrow nodded. Then I'll go back to the clan and cultivate for a while and see if there's a chance, said Lin Yu. Lin Yu's cultivation was lower than Yi Mei's, but she was still a 2-star overlord. This was the dominance of the Divine Beast clan. Even if she was not awake, she was still cultivating. Night Sorrow sighed. He thought of his brothers. He didn't know how his brothers in the God-slaying team were doing, but the threshold for the first army of the Heaven Wasteland Army was too high. There were only 2 emperors in the God-slaying team, let alone imperial emperors. Forever and Free read and novel. 13th brother, our brothers will all rise. We just need some time. Seeing Night Sorrow's eyes drifting, Tianyu, who had fought side by side with Night Sorrow, knew what Night Sorrow was thinking. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that the members of the God-slaying team were already working very hard. It was just that the pace was too fast and everyone couldn't keep up. After chatting for a while, Yi Mei and White Meng Meng left. Lin Yun also sent Lin Yu back to cultivate. It was really important to enter the reincarnation battlefield. Everyone wanted to seize the opportunity. On the 3rd day, the Grand Elder came to look for Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King. He wanted to send them into the Heaven Wasteland Pagoda. Pu Luo, Lin Piaomiao, please take care of the Humanitarian League. Night Sorrow nodded to Pu Luo and Lin Piaomiao. He left with the Great Demon King and the Grand Elder. Only the original body could comprehend the artistic conception and the truth of heaven and earth. However, when the original body comprehended, the doppelganger had to protect the original body. Therefore, the Great Demon King and Night Sorrow both went with their original bodies. There were 5 towers in the Heaven Wasteland City. Only the middle tower was called the Heaven Wasteland Pagoda. Normally, people could enter the Heaven Wasteland Pagoda, but only into the ordinary space. The true inner space of the Heaven Wasteland Pagoda would only open after the 100 Races Alliance Conference. Only the most talented cultivators were qualified to enter. After entering the Heaven Wasteland Pagoda, Night Sorrow originally thought that they would go up. He didn't expect them to go down. After walking for a while, Night Sorrow saw 2 bronze doors wrapped in energy at the end of the underground stairs. In a while, Night Sorrow, you will enter the left one. Great Demon King, you will enter the right one. After entering, you will have a year's time. After a year, the interior will explode with energy and it will no longer be suitable for survival. Therefore you have to come out. In addition, everyone who enters the Heaven Wasteland space has different experiences and gains, said the Grand Elder. Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King nodded. They had already obtained some information from Lin Piaomiao. Lin Piaomiao had entered the Heaven Wasteland space twice. She had obtained the first Vanguard and the first Commander. Therefore, she didn't plan to enter this time. She planned to give the opportunity to the Great Demon King and Fentian. At the Emperor rank, there was almost no one who could defeat the Great Demon King and Fentian. The first Commander would definitely be one of them. Fentian's strength was lower than the Great Demon King, and his luck wasn't as good as the Great Demon King's. The Great Demon King's strength was stronger than Fentian, but he gave Fentian a chance. However, Fentian lost in rock, paper, scissors. There was no other way. This opportunity belonged to the Great Demon King. Night Sorrow, the Great Demon King, and the Grand Elder waited. After a moment, an energy phantom appeared. After the phantom appeared, it struck out a few hand seals and the bronze doors opened. The conditions to enter the Heaven Wasteland space are very harsh. Therefore, there is only one opportunity every 1 billion years and 2 billion years. This opportunity is highly valued by the various clans of the 100 Race Alliance. Therefore, after the two of you enter, you have to work hard. Besides, it's not like there isn't any danger inside. There are only two outcomes after entering the Heaven Wasteland space. Either you walk out standing or fall inside, said the new energy phantom. Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King nodded. Both of them understood that opportunities and risks were directly proportional. Chapter 1854. Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King looked at each other. They had thought that they would be able to take care of each other after entering. However, they had to separate now, which meant that they had to enter different places. Be careful. Don't let the journey of opportunity turn into the path of the devil. The Grand Elder reminded Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King. Alliance Leader, be careful. The Great Demon King's body flashed as he entered the bronze door on the right. Night Sorrow also entered the bronze door on the left. Upon seeing Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King enter, the Grand Elder nodded. This is the cultivation path of our human race's ancestors. I hope it will be of help to you. The existence of the Everlasting Tower was mysterious to ordinary cultivators. However, some of the higher-ups of the 100 Race Alliance knew about it. The Everlasting Tower had existed in the previous samsara. It was a protective dharma treasure of a human race almighty. Now, it was suppressing a space called the Everlasting Space. The Everlasting Space was originally the internal space of the Everlasting Tower. However, the Everlasting Tower was damaged and the space was no longer within the Everlasting Tower. Instead, it needed the Everlasting Tower to suppress it. The Everlasting Space had followed that human race almighty for a very long time. It recorded the growth and experiences of that almighty. The Everlasting Space was actually a trial space. After Night Sorrow entered, he realized that it was a gray space. The energy that seeped up from the ground had a familiar feeling. It was the power of merit. Night Sorrow had heard King Yawu say that the human race's providence was like a dragon. The dragon's head was at Yawu Mountain and the claw of slaughter was the Everlasting Space. After sensing it, Night Sorrow realized that it was different. The power of merit here was different from that of Yawu Mountain. The power of merit that erupted from Yawu Mountain was peaceful and mighty. However, the power of merit here was more domineering. It had a vast and mighty aura that could crush everything. There was no hurry. Night Sorrow planned to take a look at the Everlasting Space first before finding a suitable place to cultivate. The spirit chi here was rich enough. As he moved forward, Night Sorrow discovered a spiritual body. It was a spiritual body that was completely composed of energy. The energy contained in its body was at the mid-level Imperial Lord level. While Night Sorrow was observing, the spiritual body launched an attack. Sword techniques, movement techniques, and soul attacks. After the battle began, Night Sorrow discovered that this spirit body was different from the spirit body in Evil Punisher Land. The evil spirits in the Evil Punisher Land were very strong, but they only fought instinctively. However, the soul bodies in this Heaven Wasteland space had even more threatening attacks. After they attacked, they would use one ultimate technique after another. This was a display of their ultimate techniques. Opportunity. This was a fortuitous encounter. If one had the ability to comprehend, they would be able to comprehend an absolute art from their spiritual bodies. After studying it for a while, Night Sorrow realized that these ultimate techniques were not suitable for him, so he killed the soul and continued forward. As Night Sorrow advanced, one soul after another appeared and charged at Night Sorrow. After the victory, Night Sorrow did not gain any resources. After the soul was killed, the energy returned to Infinite Wasteland. Night Sorrow understood that the process was the harvest. The ultimate techniques that these spiritual bodies used in battle had energy trajectories that could be seen through at a glance. It was easy to understand and learn. On the fourth day, Night Sorrow witnessed a palm technique. It was executed by a peak Imperial Lord spiritual body. When the palm technique was waved, it had the ability to stir up the power of heaven and earth. The palm technique's energy contained the power of a domain. It had the effects of control, confinement, and time acceleration and deceleration. Night Sorrow was interested in this ultimate technique. He sent his clone to fight while his main body slowly studied and deciphered it. You forever free of Z fees to C small, say % in order to delay the battle and have more time to observe. Night Sorrow did not use any of his ultimate techniques. He only defended and let the spiritual body attack. Then he would learn. After watching for a while, Night Sorrow understood some things. This spiritual body's palm technique was mainly of the time attribute. The earth, water, wind, and fire attributes were supplementary. The earth attribute formed the earth attribute space. The water, wind, and fire attributes strengthened and stabilized the space. The time attribute slowed down the flow of time, achieving the effect of control and confinement. Night Sorrow's main body started to ponder. He did not have the earth, wind, water, or fire attributes. However, the significance of these four basic attributes in this ultimate technique was to form and stabilize space to support the later attacks. Since he had the spatial attribute, it was sufficient for him to use the space attribute as a supplement. After that, he could use the time attribute to control, confine, and speed acceleration and deceleration. After confirming it again and memorizing the entire process of this spiritual body's attack, Night Sorrow made a move to scatter this spiritual body. Then, his main body entered the Clear Sky Pagoda and started to study. Night Sorrow had the Void Heaven covering hand. His attack power was decent. However, if he wanted to hit the target had to receive the attack or use spatial cracks and soul attacks to affect the target. If he used this spiritual body's ultimate technique as a reference, he would be able to attack directly in the future without any drawbacks. After studying for a while, Night Sorrow discovered that this ultimate technique was different from the ones he had mastered before. The lower attribute came first, forming the control attribute. Then, the time attribute was added to form the ultimate move. In the past, Night Sorrow's ultimate techniques had the highest attribute first, followed by the support attribute. There was no need to copy all of them. Night Sorrow started to cultivate his own palm technique. Night Sorrow's path of cultivation was to fuse the attributes. First, he would activate the space attribute to envelop the opponent. Then he would use the time attribute to slow down the opponent's speed and achieve control. Then he would use the Void Heaven covering hand to attack. After cultivating in the Clear Sky Pagoda for a month, Night Sorrow's new ultimate technique was thoroughly integrated. It was the void energy that controlled the space attribute. The space attribute came first, disrupting the laws of heaven and earth, the will and the momentum of heaven and earth. Then, it would be the attack, using the void attribute to complete the ultimate move. After cultivating the new ultimate technique, Night Sorrow changed his way of thinking. He added the void attribute to the space attribute, strengthening the envelopment and control. The ultimate move's attribute was the destruction attribute. With the support of the void attribute, Night Sorrow's new ultimate technique's control was even stronger. Night Sorrow even felt that time had stopped. Everything had stopped, and even time had stopped flowing. However, it was only for a moment. His realm was not enough, and his strength was not enough. Night Sorrow understood that his strength was not enough. If his mastery of the attributes was deep enough, then he would be able to stop time, and then proceed to kill. Of course, that was under the premise that the opponent could not affect or block his ultimate move. If the opponent's domain was strong enough, then this time deceleration would be extremely slow, and the power of the ultimate technique would be weakened. Very good. After cultivating this ultimate technique, this trip to the Heaven Wasteland space was not in vain. Night Sorrow muttered in a low voice. He exited the clear sky pagoda and continued forward. On the way, Night Sorrow practiced his new ultimate technique while understanding the situation of the soul body using the ultimate technique. Night Sorrow was very gratified. He recalled King Yawu's words. All the ultimate techniques were created, and they were most suitable for the creator. When the later generations practiced them, they would definitely not have the power of the creator. Currently, this ultimate technique that he had named the Desolate Nirvana Palm belonged to him. Chapter 1855. Look at, on D. Edition Chapter IE Section Hashtag, M. Desolation's Hand was one of Night Sorrow's ultimate skills that he relied on to survive. He had a deep attachment to it. Later on, as his cultivation and realm increased, he had other options. Night Sorrow did not use Desolation's Hand much. Now, Desolation Nirvana Palm was based on the power of time. The only difference was that it was different from Desolation's Hand in terms of power and effect. In the past, Desolation's Hand only had the ability to accelerate time. Desolation Nirvana Palm was different. Its ability was very comprehensive. It could accelerate and decelerate time. Whether it was acceleration or deceleration, it was not as powerful as time stop. In the moment of time stop, the enemy would not be able to resist. However, because his cultivation was not high enough and his realm was low, Night Sorrow's Desolation Nirvana Palm could only produce time stop for a moment if the opponent could not withstand it. If the opponent's domain was strong, the effect might not be obvious. As he continued to cultivate and improve, Night Sorrow would study new ultimate skills. If it was not new, Night Sorrow would use it to hone his Desolation Nirvana Palm. In the previous process, Night Sorrow had seen an ultimate skill that was more suitable for him. It was a space-time defensive ultimate skill. When the opponent was defending, their body would be in another space. Night Sorrow's attack energy would mostly miss. A part of it would be blocked and melted by the space barrier. When faced with such a situation, Night Sorrow would send out a clone to fight. His main body would study and analyze. This space-overlapping defensive ultimate skill was indeed powerful. After studying for half a day, Night Sorrow finally understood this space-time ultimate skill. This ultimate skill could enter a different space when in danger or when one did not want to face it head-on. It would greatly weaken the opponent's power. Night Sorrow named this move Space-Time Realm. The sudden appearance of a different space was created by him using Space-Time Dao. After killing his opponent and arriving at a mountain peak, Night Sorrow stopped moving forward and began to cultivate Space-Time Realm and Desolation Nirvana Palm. Desolation Nirvana Palm. Night Sorrow did not only use it for attacks with his left hand. The spear art with his right hand also had the essence of this spear art. As for the defensive ultimate skill, Space-Time Realm, he was getting more and more proficient. Night Sorrow's body was sometimes clear and sometimes blurry. Night Sorrow's body was switching between the real world and the space-time realm. Feeling that he was almost done cultivating the ultimate skills, Night Sorrow continued moving forward. After more than a month of training, his realm and cultivation did not increase his combat strength. In Nine's world, Night Sorrow's 9-domain world, 9 Nirvana Palm was cultivating and researching new ultimate skills. A month and a half later, Night Sorrow discovered a spiritual body that controlled a supreme soul technique. There was a rhythmic halo around its head that constantly pulsed, annihilating any attacks that came at the deity. The mode of this soul defense ultimate skill was relatively simple. There was no worldly influence involved. Night Sorrow learned it easily. Night Sorrow was not worried about his own soul defense. He had the 9-region origin beads and the green lotus jade bracelet to protect his soul. They were both heavenly Tao artifacts. If the opponent's cultivation was not much higher than his, even if they had soul attack ultimate skills, they would not be able to break through his defense. However, this soul defense ultimate skill was very strong. Night Sorrow's soul extinguishing slash could not break through the halo's defense. It could also isolate some of the effects of ultimate skills on the soul. Night Sorrow naturally would not give up on such an ultimate skill. Even if he did not need it, he could pass it on to his wife and children. As he moved forward, the battles continued. However, Night Sorrow did not cultivate the ultimate skills that the soul's soul used. Not cultivating them did not mean that they were not helpful to Night Sorrow. He used the advantages and disadvantages of these ultimate skills to strengthen his own. There were almost no supreme attribute souls here. There were no supreme attribute ultimate skills. What he needed to do was to draw inferences and strengthen his own ultimate skills. Of course, this required comprehension. With countless ultimate skills evolving before his eyes, Night Sorrow's own ultimate skills were becoming more and more perfect. 3 months later, Night Sorrow had traversed the entire space. It wasn't that he hadn't encountered any danger. Once, he had been surrounded by dozens of souls. Because of his strong combat ability and the Empty Realm's defenses, he had the True Dragon of Destruction mantra, the Desolation of Time Palm, and the Great Emperor's Reincarnation slash. After 3 months, Night Sorrow had traveled through most of Desolation space. He decided to stabilize and improve his realm. He had already chosen the location. It was the place where he had encountered danger. There had once been many soul bodies gathered there because the energy impact there was intense. Moreover, there was a rich power of virtue erupting there. Just like at the Yawa Mountain, Night Sorrow sat down cross-legged and used his own time acceleration. He began to absorb energy and power of virtue to cultivate and improve his realm at the same time. After the 100 Races Alliance Conference in Desolation City, many elites did not leave. They all signed up to join the Heaven Wasteland Army, mainly from the First Army. Tiger Cold and Flower without words came to see Night Sorrow, as well as other Imperial Emperor elites. Without Night Sorrow, they could not do anything. The Grand Elder also announced that the First Army of Heaven Wasteland Army would recruit members in a year. Lin Piamiao became a candidate for the Disciplinary Law Enforcement Elder and had more things to do. She returned to the 9 Domains world and met Night Sorrow's 9 Domains doppelganger twice. She asked about Night Sorrow's situation. She only felt relieved after knowing that Night Sorrow was very stable. There were also many people who wanted to join the Humanitarian League, but they were all rejected. The Humanitarian League did not accept just anyone. The Humanitarian League needed Night Sorrow's approval and Night Sorrow did not dislike them. This was the consensus of the Humanitarian League except for Night Sorrow. First of all, Night Sorrow was the League leader and Night Sorrow was the virtuous emperor. They could distinguish a person's moral integrity. The Humanitarian League did not care about the fact that they would not be able to grow if they did not recruit members. In terms of strength, the Humanitarian League was definitely strong. Under the Humanitarian League, there were forces under the Devil Realm's Great Demon King, Misty Dynasty, Pilyuo Island, Rain Bamboo Mountain, and Ruisi Country. Funtion also had his own guards. These forces were all led by the Humanitarian League. If any force competed with the Humanitarian League in terms of strength, they would be badly battered. The Humanitarian League controlled some of the atmosphere in the celestial realm. The spies under the forces were operating. If they found people with bad morals, they would deal with them. If the forces under them were not strong enough, the Humanitarian League's elders would take action. When Pilyuo, Lin Piamiao, and the others took action, even the elders of the 100 Races Alliance could not withstand it. The days of cultivation were day and night. Night Sorrow was used to such days. He knew that the stronger one was, the higher the chances of survival. Entering the reincarnation battlefield was a life and death battle. The 100 Races Alliance, the Devil-Winged Clan, the Black Dragons, and the Flying Serpents would also enter. These forces were like fire and water, so a life and death battle was inevitable. Chapter 1856. This tyrannical power was different from the tyrannical power of the energy attribute. The tyrannical power of the energy attribute had many sides. It could have negative elements such as killing, oppression, and so on. The tyrannical power of virtue was a kind of might and pressure, an upright and vast impact. Night Sorrow knew that this was the result of absorbing the Fate Dragon's slaughtering claw's power of virtue. As the name implied, the Fate Dragon's slaughtering claw focused on battle. Hence, it was different from Dragon Head Yawa Mountain's. Dragon Head Yawa Mountain's slaughtering claw. Night Sorrow's cultivation had risen to intermediate sovereign emperor, and the time energy around him had increased. It was now more than 5 times, less than 6 times. Time slipped away as Night Sorrow cultivated. During closed-door cultivation, Night Sorrow's mind became one, and he forgot about everything. His cultivation and realm rapidly rose. After changing the environment and sensing the different power of heaven and earth, Night Sorrow entered a state of selflessness. As for danger, Night Sorrow did not worry. As long as danger descended, he would wake up. In the blink of an eye, 8 months passed. Night Sorrow had been in the heavenly desolate space for nearly 11 months. Night Sorrow woke up from his meditation because the energy aura in the heavenly desolate space had become berserk. After waking up from his meditation, Night Sorrow first checked his body. After checking, Night Sorrow smiled. During this closed-door cultivation, his space-time attribute had increased by 2 points. His comprehension of the power of heaven and earth had reached 57%. His comprehension of the void attribute had also increased by 2 points. However, these 2 points were very significant. He had advanced from a 4-star emperor to a 5-star emperor. Just like the void attribute, he was an intermediate sovereign emperor. As for the destruction attribute, he comprehended it the fastest. He comprehended it by 3 points and was just 1 step away. As long as he could feel it, he would become a 5-star emperor. The reason why Night Sorrow was able to comprehend the destruction attribute so quickly was because the place where he was meditating was where the slaughter claw of the Fate Dragon was located. It focused on slaughter and destruction, so Night Sorrow was able to comprehend more of the destruction attribute's grand momentum of heaven and earth. Night Sorrow did not know how long he had been in the heaven wasteland space after communicating with the 9 domain doppelgangers. 11 months had passed, and Night Sorrow had to head out. There was still 1 month left, and he had to leave. The Grand Elder had said that in the infinite wasteland space, only this 1 year was stable. After that, it would become violent, forming a space that was not suitable for living. Night Sorrow was very satisfied with what he had gained in the past 11 months. His cultivation base had increased. He had researched 3 types of lost techniques. Additionally, his power of virtue had increased. Night Sorrow could feel that his power of virtue was no longer the same as when he had first become a merit emperor. The power of virtue contained within his body had become much thicker. Feeling very excited, Night Sorrow's body trembled. The energy in his body surged, and golden light shone brightly. Then he let out a long roar. He wanted to vent. Opening his arms and roaring into the sky, Night Sorrow felt very comfortable. After Night Sorrow finished roaring and was about to leave, the mountain he was cultivating on shone with golden light. Then a golden light shot into the sky. After the golden light stabilized in the air, it began to flow. It was the flow of words. He recognized them. Night Sorrow recognized those words. It was the Tao Te Ching. The golden light shone in the air. The flowing words were the words recorded in the Tao Te Ching during the human Tao ceremony. Night Sorrow soared into the air and approached the golden light. He saw the core of the golden light. It was a golden book, and the words were flowing out from the book. After taking a few steps in the air, Night Sorrow reached out to grab the golden book. As Night Sorrow reached out, the golden book retreated, not giving Night Sorrow a chance to grab it. Light of virtue, power of virtue. Night Sorrow looked at the golden book and understood. The golden book was filled with the power of virtue. If he used the power of virtue, he might be able to get close to it. As soon as he thought of this, Night Sorrow wrapped his left hand in the power of virtue and reached out to grab the golden book. This time, the golden book didn't resist and was grabbed by Night Sorrow. After taking a look, Night Sorrow realized that he didn't see wrongly. It was the Tao Te Ching. Night Sorrow didn't understand why the Tao Te Ching would appear here. Could it have appeared in the previous reincarnation? While Night Sorrow was thinking, the Tao Te Ching directly turned into energy and entered Night Sorrow's body. When it reached Night Sorrow's dantian, the golden words flowed in Night Sorrow's dantian. Night Sorrow was stunned. Could it be that the Tao Te Ching had become a spirit under the nourishment of the Dragon of Fate? Night Sorrow tried to mobilize it, but the Tao Te Ching didn't move. It's not moving? Night Sorrow took out the Human Emperor's seal and activated it with the power of virtue. At this moment, the Tao Te Ching in his dantian moved and the golden words flowed to the Human Emperor's seal. The words at the bottom of the Human Emperor's seal shone brightly and received a strong blessing. At this moment, Night Sorrow understood that this book had become a supreme treasure under the nourishment of the human race's Dragon of Fate. Night Sorrow withdrew the power of virtue. He originally thought that the golden words of the Tao Te Ching would remain in the Human Emperor's seal, but in fact, the golden words retracted into his dantian along with the power of virtue. Not using the Human Emperor's seal to strengthen his body? Night Sorrow didn't expect this situation. However, this wasn't important. The golden words, the Tao Te Ching, already belonged to him. Without any delay, Night Sorrow rushed to the exit of Tianhuang space. He had gone very deep this time, so he couldn't stop when he rushed back. He had to hurry. There were still battles on the way back, so there was no need to hold back. Night Sorrow used his various ultimate skills without restraint. When the power of virtue strengthened the domain, Night Sorrow realized that the power of the domain increased again. The soul of a 4-star monarch, which was an early-stage imperial emperor, was directly crushed. This was because there were golden words flowing in his domain. With the support of the golden words, the power of Night Sorrow's domain increased by 30%. Night Sorrow was so excited that he couldn't control himself. His domain was too powerful now. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and drank a few mouthfuls. He suppressed the joy in his heart and continued to fly toward the exit of Tianhuang space. At this moment, at the exit of Tianhuang space, the great Demon King was anxiously pacing back and forth. He had been out for a few days and accompanied the Grand Elder to wait for Night Sorrow, but there was no news of Night Sorrow. Don't be impatient. Don't be anxious. There's still time. There's great danger in Tianhuang space, but can it be greater than the 5 imperial emperors of the Demon Wing clan working together to kill it? The Grand Elder glanced at the great Demon King and said. The great Demon King didn't say anything, but he was still worried. There wasn't much time left, so Night Sorrow started to rush back at full speed. If there were soul bodies blocking his way, Night Sorrow wouldn't care. His new ultimate skill, Space-Time Realm, wasn't just for defense. It could also increase his speed. Night Sorrow was like a stream of light, constantly flying in the blossoming space. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.